Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to my channel called Take Heed to the Message with Abang Anwa. It just means queen. We're going to discuss some foolery that happened um, on the Breakfast Club. Okay, we're going to discuss this foolery. I want to tell y'all something. Just give you a little tidbit. I'm trying to get this video up. Hold on, y'all. So, the title of this nonsense is Charlemagne said, "How come President Trump kept all his promises and President Biden did not? How come President Trump kept all his promises but Biden did not? How come?" Now, what we were told when you growing up that the president doesn't have a lot of power. That's what we were told, right? We were told that. The president don't have a lot of power. He can't do a lot of things. He can't make stuff happen. He got to go through Congress. Everything, right? But the truth is, he only needs to go through Congress for money. Because what? Congress, what? They hold the purse. Everything else, he could basically do what the hell he want to do. But this is what they had us to believe, that, okay, the president can't do all the things we asked him to do. We sat up here saying the president can't close the border without Congress approval. This is what we thought. But how is it that Trump got up there and he shut the border down? He didn't wait for Congress to approve anything. All the stuff that he's doing, he didn't wait for anybody. He just wrote it in, okay? And that's it. And it started happening, okay? Even when the judge, okay, even when one of the judges, one of the 9 justices, or I think it was the Supreme Court, stopped him from blocking, because, you know, he blocked everybody credit cards. Everybody, all the government credit cards, he stopped them. They said this is against the law. He cannot do that. So this is what he did. He said, okay, it's against the law that I stopped all the credit cards. So then I'll give them a balance of $1. He said, y'all so-and-so is going to stop spending this money. I'll give them a balance of $1 then. Now the cars are useless. You can't get out here and use these cars for vacations and buying cars and going on expensive lunches and stuff like that. Y'all have been using taxpayer money, this credit card that is supposed to be used for your states, for business purposes. Y'all have been using them to go on vacations and going to lavish lunches and shit and buying clothes and going and buying cars and stuff. Y'all have been using these government cards for foolishness. The Supreme Court said to him, one of the Supreme Court justices said, no, he cannot do this. It's against the law. He can't do this. So they stopped it. Trump said, okay, I can't do nothing, no problem. I'm going to give everybody $1. The car still work, but it's only $1. The car gonna still work, baby, but it's only $1. How is how is it that this one man with a pen can do all this shit? And how long has he been in office? How long has he been in office? This going on the 2nd month. January, February. No, 3rd month now. We in March now. 3rd is about to be 3 months. How? Tell me, I want to know, how is this shit happening? It's about to be 3 months. How is all this shit happening in 3 months? When y'all promised us, I have been a Democrat all my life. I've been a Democrat all my life. Do you hear me? I was a Democrat from birth. Do you understand? And every time We get in here and we complain about shit and we say, okay, well, the president don't have that much power. He don't have that much power to do it. No, you know what it is? Y'all don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. That's what it is. It's not that they don't have that much power. Trump is testing the limits of the president power. He is testing the limits. What did he tell Karen? What did he tell Karen, that is the mayor of Los Angeles? He said, wield your power. You have the power to make these things work. Wield your power. He said, that's what I'm doing. Trump is going all the way to the limits. He going all the way to the line. You know how when they say we done draw the line, this is the presidency, we done draw the line. We need you. Trump going that far. I'm going all the way to the line. He said, F what you heard. I'm going all the way to the line. Say whatever you want to say about this man, but I've never seen a president in my day go this far. I have never seen a president get shit done in under 2 months. Do you hear what I'm saying? I've never seen a president, it's going on two and a half months, that he has pushed the limits this far. Never seen it. Never seen it. Good morning to everybody in the chat. Steven, 18, how are you? Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming to rock with me. Onika, how are you? King Ball, long time no see, baby. It's good to see you. Jerry, how you doing? I've never seen it in my lifetime. A president that is doing what the hell he's supposed to do for America. Now, I disagree with the Gaza thing. You will never get me to agree with the Gaza thing. I'm not going to agree with that. Hey, Green Beans, how are you? I will never agree with the Gaza thing. But everything else, he on point. The thing that irks my nerve and why I played Wade in the Water in the beginning is because this song was for our ancestors. This song was for our ancestors, to tell them where to go, to tell them how to escape. This was a spiritual song that gave our ancestors guidance. Why are we using that in 2025? Why are we using that old Negro spiritual in 2025? When Democrats, when y'all asked us to give you the House and the Senate, and we gave you the House, the Senate, and the presidency. Let me repeat that one more time. Y'all asked us to give you the House and the Senate. And we gave you the House and the Senate and the presidency. Did you do anything? Did you do anything? Did you do anything? Y'all just look like y'all got fat on our backs. That's it. Y'all just was taking money like rats and shit. All of y'all, Republicans and Democrats. No, nobody is excluded. All of y'all was getting money under Biden. Biden was somewhere sitting in a rocking chair, and when y'all needed him to come out, then he came out. What president do you know that go to bed at 4 o'clock in the afternoon? I'll be damned. Nobody can reach him and shit. We gave you the presidency, we gave you the Senate, and we gave you the House, and you didn't do shit. You didn't do shit. You didn't do shit. You made it worse. You made it worse. That's what I said. I said what I said. Naomi, how are you, baby? That's what you did. And now all we hearing is, we shall overcome someday. What happened? And I can't even sing good. What happened? We shall overcome in 2025. Why wasn't you singing we shall overcome when Biden was in the White House? This is the time when you should have been singing when Biden was in the White House, when y'all had the House and the Senate and the presidency. This is when you should have been singing we shall overcome. Not when the wolf is in the White House. Because let me share something with you. The American people are tired. We're tired. All of us as a collective. Black, white, Hispanic, Haitian, African. We all together as a collective, and we're tired of y'all shit. That's what we're tired. We're tired. How many people do we help that's from different nations and nobody helps Americans? What the hell? Do you believe that America is tired? Put it in the chat. Tell me. 1, if America is tired. 2, if we're going to continue to help everybody else. Tell me now. 1, if you're tired. 2, if you want to continue to help everybody else now. Damn it. Okay? Because the U.S. aid looked like a piggy bank to me. That's what it looked like to me. The U.S. aid looked like a piggy bank to me. Okay? Anybody, you ran out of the money. Okay, you ran out of money in your bank account, your own bank account. Let me go to the USAID and get, you know, how you store money in the piggy bank. Let me go break the piggy bank. You got up on the House of Representatives floor, on the floor, okay, and sung "We Shall Overcome." Where? In 2025? In 2025, we shall overcome. So, this is what Representative Al Green had said, okay, with Charlemagne. This is what Al Green has said with Charlemagne. He had, now check this out. He asked to come to the Breakfast Club a couple weeks ago, okay? Why would he ask to come to the Breakfast Club a couple weeks ago? Because you know you can't just get on the Breakfast Club like that unless they want you, okay? But if they don't want you and you got to ask to come, you got to do it in advance, right? So Charlemagne asked him, I was surprised that you asked to come to the show a couple weeks ago. And now look, right on time, you know, you coming. Why did he ask to come? Was it a show that he knew he was going to act up and do some foolery so that he could be seen? Because that's what it looked like. Why would you have wanted to see Charlemagne back then? Why did you want to go to their show, the Breakfast Club show, back then? This is before you did this nonsense. So was it a show, sir? Was it a show? So we're going to hear the first clip, and then we're going to go into the longer version of the show, okay? So here's the juice of the whole thing. Here's the juice right here. Here we go.
Happened the other night, it made a weak party look weaker. To me, it just shows you how cowardly the Democratic Party is. But I'm sick of that talk. And the reason I'm sick of that talk is because Democrats, even when they were in power, the last 4 years with Biden, that didn't stop the so-called fascism. So why should we ever believe anything that comes out of Democrats' mouth ever again about any of this? The Democrats are just cowards, man, in every way.
Completely agree.
If we ever get another Democrat president, right? When we see all of the things that Trump is currently doing, and we see, wow, presidents really do have power if they have the political will and courage to use it. I want to see a Democrat do that. Why can't a Democrat move like that for the good things?
Yes, I absolutely agree with you.
Don't you admire the fact that he is willing to do whatever he wants to do for his base?
Well,
anybody who supported Democrats, that's all we ever want. Do something for the base. Keep your promises. He keeps his.
we made promises. People have said that black men, one of the reasons, in a sense, black people in general, voted for Trump and that hurt us, didn't vote as they should have. We made promises. We said, give us the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and we'll pass. Well, we had the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and we didn't do it. That's your point. That's your point. We didn't do it. If you put your energy and effort, your deposits, if you will, into the Democratic bank, you expect your return to come from the Democratic bank. If the Republican bank does something for you, you're not going to reject that. But you put your deposits in the Democratic bank. When the Democratic bank did not give them a return on investment, then persons lost their enthusiasm. So I don't blame people who lost their enthusiasm because we didn't honor what we said. We had the House, the Senate, and the presidency in 2021, and we did not deliver. I see how people could lose enthusiasm. I understand why people didn't vote. While they're saying USA, USA, we sing We Shall Overcome.
I can't do no more singing.
Well, I understand.
I'm sick of the singing.
But you're
You
very
believe
good.
more than I do.
Same old tired playbook.
What happened?
Same old tired playbook. Same old tired playbook. Okay? And Scamala said that part at the end. Okay? Scamala said that part at the end. The same tired old playbook. Same tired old playbook. We're tired of these old Negro spirituals. We're tired. And there's no disrespect to my ancestors, but in 2025, green beans, you cracking on my necklace? See, I done told you. Oh my God, I told you. I told you your wrench is up for questioning this year. I'm not playing. Okay? Don't be laughing or nothing. Don't, I'm not playing. Okay? This is the uncomfortable truth. We gave you the House. We gave you the Senate. We gave you the presidency. Y'all didn't do shit. You ain't do nothing. Y'all ain't do she. And so we're supposed to continue to ride for y'all and believe that, oh, the president doesn't have this much power. But Trump is pushing the envelope. Thank you, 18. But Trump is pushing the envelope. He's pushing it. Okay? He's pushing it. He's going to the limits of his power. Now, Al Green is out here saying that, oh, they're gonna mess with Medicaid and Medicare, scaring the hell out of everybody. They're gonna mess with Medicaid and Medicare. Now, the only thing I heard that they was gonna do with Medicaid, right? Okay, and that's on the welfare side, Medicaid. Okay, is that they said that if you are able-bodied, male or female, okay, they want you to work. They want you to work. Most states already got that in play, that you have to work to receive your benefits. Because sometimes you will get up there and get able-bodied male and female up there at the welfare building, and they can work, but they'll go up there and collect assistance because they said they can't find a job. Or either they're not mentally able to do the job or something like that. Allegedly. But then you're dealing with Social Security as well. So that's the only part that I heard. Now, anybody that Trump had let go, these people were seasoned workers. This is what I heard. Seasonal workers. They weren't the ones who been there like, forever. You know what I'm saying? Maybe seasonal forever, probably. But they're not the hardcore of that department. And some departments that Doge have found is obsolete. Why do we need a department that knows that counts when a duck quack echoes? Why do we need a department like that? Why do we need a department about sandwiches? Why do we need a department about that? Why do we need a department that counts squirrels? Why do we need that? Okay? Why do we need a department of the president's haircuts? This is stupid. This is some stupid shit. Why do we need a department of pools that blow up with springs or something? Want to make sure the springs in the pool is good. This is stupid. Why do we need a department like that? Some of the shit that they got going on in DC is dumb. Also, the Department of Education. All they do is collect data for testing and distribute money. That's all they do. You don't need that. You do not. The state can do it. The money can just go to the states. That's it. What do we need it for? Parents can't go get help at the federal Department of Education. You got to go to the state to get some help. Federal, what are they going to do? Just advise the state. That's it. Just advise the state. They have small, limited functions of what they can do. If you have a problem with your town, only thing you can do is go to your state board of education. That's it. Federal is just for testing and them distributing money. That's it. A lot of these programs and a lot of these departments, they are using this stuff just to hide money. Allegedly. I don't want my channel to get took down, so I gotta say allegedly. They're just using this nonsense to just move money around. That's it. That's it. And the American people, because we dumbfounded, nobody watches the shit that they do. Not even me. Not even me. Okay? We don't pay attention to the shit that they pass. We just like, yeah, just get the budget passed. We don't pay no attention to the stuff that our own senators do. Okay? And we don't pay attention to the shit that the House of Representatives do too in our state. We don't pay attention to that. Do you know all the Democrats collectively said, we don't care if boys and men are in women's sports. Collectively, they all said that. Women and men who are Democrats Democrats in the House and in the Senate, all of them collectively said, we don't give two shits if your girls get their ass beat. We don't care. We don't care if your girls get their ass beat. That's what they said collectively. Okay? We give two shits. Also, collectively, all of them, if a foreigner, not a foreigner, but, well, it's still a foreigner, a migrant, can I say migrant? Let me see. An illegal immigrant. Let's put it like that. An illegal immigrant, if they get in here and they touch a woman in the wrong way, the R word, okay? And also, you know, any children, okay? All of them collectively, Democrats, said they shouldn't be deported. Why? Why shouldn't they be deported? So if they do the R word and they do something to a child as well, they should not be deported. All of them collectively voted against that. Only how it passes because the Republicans got it through. That if they do that, they got to be deported. But this is the party that love us. Black people pay attention. This is the party that love us. But yet, they sign up for shit that don't make sense. They sign up for shit that don't make sense. It doesn't benefit us. How long do we continue to scream these Negro spiritual songs? How long? It's 2025. How long? How long do we continue to scream these Negro spiritual songs? Nothing is being done. All of them that are African American, they are getting that money and they not paying attention to nothing else. They get up there and talk about reparations before they even get to the House of Representatives or before they even become the senator. They out there screaming, talking about reparations. We trying to get reparations. And then once they land in D.C., you'll hear them skim over reparations. Oh, we got to do a committee. We got to get a committee together for reparations. What the hell does that mean? Y'all been talking about reparations. Let's get a bill done. Y'all been talking about it. Let's get a bill done. You already talked about it. That's the committee. F what you heard. That's the committee. But because you don't want to. Y'all don't want to. So this is why y'all have Negroes excited. Yes, let's talk about, we're not going to get reparations, y'all. We're not going to get reparations, y'all. Get that out your head. That's not coming. Understand that. That's not coming. I'm not against it. I'm not against it, but it's not coming. Because you always got these people in DC who look like us that will throw bones at us and say, this is what I'm going to do when I get to Washington, D.C. And then when they get in there, you don't hear nothing about it no more. The promises that they had given us, you hear me? The promises that they got up there and gave us, okay? They didn't come through. It didn't go through at all. Morgan, thank you, baby. I appreciate you. You know what? The black community. This is nasty what I'm about to say, but the black community, you are a whore to the Democratic Party. The black community, you are a whore to the Democratic Party. Just like when a man go in here and he mess with his hoe. Now while he laying her down, he promised her everything. He done whispered all this stuff in her ear. He done promised her everything because, you know, the punani is good. He done promised her everything in her ear while he's screwing her. Then now once he get clarity, he get up. When the Democratic Party get clarity and they get up and they start sitting down, they see you in the audience, they wink at you because they want you to, you know, they want you to still give them that punani. So they wink at you, you know, and you like, oh, giddy and shit. And then he looks over at the rainbow community. The rainbow community is the wife. I said it. Yes, I did. I said it. I said it. That's what that I said it. Yes, I did. I said it. They look over at the rainbow community. That's their wife. Okay? That's their wife. And so they look at their wife with a big smile, but they can't stand her though. They can't stand her, but they look at her with a big smile, you know, and stuff like that. But everything he promised the wife while he was screwing the wife, he gonna give her. Because you want to know why? What have I told y'all before? What have I said to you before? What have I said to you before? When a man lay his wife down, he got to keep every promise he made to his wife. Because why? She belongs to him. Even if he don't like her. Even if he don't like her, he got to keep the promise that he made to her. But the hoe, he ain't got to keep the promise that he made to the hoe. He don't. He'll continue to lie and lie and lie, and she'll believe the shit. He'll continue to lie. Every time he lay her down, yo, but you promised. He say, I know I promised, baby, but it's just some things I can't do. You know, I'm only one person. I can't do everything. Now, he know in his mind he got the power to do some shit, but he telling her, I can't do it. But the wife tells him, you better go all the way to the limits of your power to get what I need done. And he gonna do it. He gonna do it because the wife belonged to him and he wanna have peace in the house. The black community, you ain't nothing but a hoe. You ain't nothing but a hoe to the Democratic Party. I said what I said. You take offense to it, that's your business. Because every time we get screwed for the same shit, every time when we ask for certain shit, they turn around and make it something else. In the 90s, we were asking for reform. Our communities wasn't safe. Too much drugs and this and that and gangs and stuff like that. This is what y'all did. They did the 94 crime bill, okay? Y'all snatched up mostly fathers that was in prison. Even the fathers who did a little dope on the side, okay? Just a little snort, and he still took care of his family. But y'all would put him in prison for 20, 25 years just for a little snort. But the ones on the corner, y'all kept them out there so they could continue to make the money in the community. And then when you were able to take them down, then you went after them. Then you went after him because then you took all the properties he bought and all the money that he had in his house. That's when you did something, damn it. That's when you did something. Most of the programs that y'all say black people are on today, when it comes to welfare and food stamps and stuff like that, and all these assistance, we're the last person to be on that program. We're the last people to be on that program. When it comes to welfare, food stamps, any assistance programs, we're the last to be on it. But y'all said, oh, these programs should go. These programs should go. That's right. These programs should go. Okay? A lot of y'all Hispanic people gonna be homeless. A lot of y'all Caucasian people gonna be homeless. A lot of y'all Haitian people gonna be homeless. A lot of y'all African people gonna be homeless. But Black America is the last people to be on most of these programs. And because y'all don't check the data, y'all don't go and Google some shit, you don't know that black people is not at the helm of these programs. You go to the welfare building in your neighborhood right now. Go to the welfare building in your town. Go to it. You're gonna see mostly white and Hispanic in there. You rarely see black people in there. You rarely see black people, but we get in here and we be like, well, the blacks is on welfare, the blacks is on food stamps and this and that. It's a small percentage. So if they knock the programs out, it's not going to do nothing to black people, only a small percentage. That's the uncomfortable truth that y'all don't want to hear. But black people, you have been the whore for the Democratic Party. He done screwed you every which way, made you get down on all floors and give him head, okay? Give him head, made you get down on all floors. You was in doggy style. He done swung you from the chandelier, done told you how much he loved you. And then when he get around a crowd of people, all he could do is wink at you, give you a wink, let you know that but JJ was good. He gave that wink. Then he look over at his wife, who is from the rainbow community. She's the version of the rainbow community, and she up there giving him that snore in his face like, bitch, I done gave you a lot of money. You better act like you know and pass the bills that I need done. Now, green beans, don't be laughing at how I speak. Y'all know how I speak. Don't get in here, green beans. Now, I done already told you. Okay, if you have a problem with how I speak, please scroll up. Please scroll up. Okay, you have a problem with how I speak. I don't speak good English. I'm just saying. I got a little hood spin on mine. Okay, I got a little hood spin on mine. I can't help that. Okay. But Green Bee's trying to get in here and act like he not from the South, where everything he say, it sound a little crazy. Everything he say, you be like, wait a minute, what did you say? But I'm getting judged, right? Okay, no problem. All I'm saying is that we the hoe. We the hoe. That's why he'll get in here and promise us everything, because you know that, but JJ is good. But every promise he made to the wife, he got to keep it. Why do you think every time when the Democrats get in office, the first people they see is the rainbow community? That's the first people they go to. Because why? That's the wife. That's the wife. We the hoe. Then they come to us second. Then you see them come over to the churches. Don't get in here and say I'm lying. That's what they do. They go visit the rainbow community first. Okay, and then they get in here. After that, they go visit the black churches.
In your lane, and keep my name out your mouth. Out your mouth. This Lord, your mouth. Watch your mouth. It's none of your business. None of your business. What I'm doing right now. Do right now. You gon' mess around. Don't mess around.
That song right there was for green beans. Now, Morgan, baby, thank you for the $5 super chat, Morgan. And here you go, honey. I appreciate you donating to the channel, taking time to donate to the channel while other people in here aggravating somebody. Now, okay? So I appreciate you, baby. Morgan, I appreciate you, baby. Here's that pH balance for you. You gotta check that pH balance, baby. What you say what for? You gotta check that pH balance, baby. Hey, Ricky, how are you, honey? You gotta check that pH balance, baby. You gotta check that. Steven said that's my shit. That's right. If you like the content, please like and subscribe to the page. Donate to the page as well, baby. Steven, don't laugh at him, Steven, because I'm tired.
Something is off.
Something ain't right.
Something is in the air tonight.
Oh, shit.
Something smells fishy, and we ain't eating fish.
What he say?
Thinking to myself,
What the hell is this?
sex is
He
good.
said that sex is good, baby.
Please do better.
All right now.
You need to get that
right
pH
now,
balance
baby.
together, baby.
Oh, you said cash out. Okay. Thank you. All right now, wait a minute. Get it now, huh? Thank you, Morgan. Morgan, thank you, baby, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Ricky, thank you for the $25 cash app. Oh, Ricky, thank you, baby. I appreciate you. Oh, should I call you baby? I'm sorry. Thank you, Ricky. I appreciate you for the $25 super chat, honey. Thank you so much. Here we go. I got that direct deposit, baby. Here we go. No more than two, girl. No more than two. Now, Ricky, the truth is I can't do no two. I'm gonna tell you right now, I can't do no two. But that's y'all already know. I told y'all how I be getting in those episodes. I already told y'all. Okay? So now we gonna get to the main event. Not the main event, but close to the main event. The fact is that Black people, we have been used and abused by the Democratic Party. Because you the hoe. So the hoe don't get treated well. The hoe get a wet ass and a few dollars on the table. That's what the hoe get. No, now don't get in here and act like you don't know. That's what the hoe get. She get a few dollars on the table and a wet ass. That's it. Okay? But the queen, okay, that is the rainbow community, gets everything. Everything. I know y'all was surprised that they had celebrated the rainbow community on the Lord's Day, that we believe this is when Jesus got crucified. I don't know why y'all was shocked. Okay? Now, I done already explained to y'all that the rainbow community is what? The rainbow community is the wife. Because the wife will tell you, player, you better act like you know. The wife will tell you. Player, you better act like you know. The wife gonna tell her husband, now, last week when you was on top of me and had me swinging from the chandelier, this is what you promised me. This what you promised me. Why is Take Heed saying it like that? Because there's some shit my king promised me in the midst of a heated battle we was having in the room. And I remind him, last week, this is what you said. I tell him, last week, and he'll look at me, he'll say, but we was in, no. Last week, this is what you told me. And now, I want it now. I want it now. Just like that. He'll look at me. He said, you is something else. And you promised? And then he tried to tell me, well, I was in a compromising position. That you promised. You promised, though. Okay? You promised. That's what you did. So I'm holding you to the promise. See, the hoe can't say, I'm holding you to the promise. The hoe can't. The wife can only say, I'm holding you to a promise. Okay? Now, I don't scream at my husband and say, I'm not saying that. Because I whisper in his ear and I'll be like, you promised. You promised. You promised. Just like that. And he'll say, I did promise. I'm going to transfer the money to your account. Thank you. Thank you. You promised. You promised, sir. Don't promise. The last 3 months, this man hadn't promised me nothing the last 3 months. He's trying to do something. He's trying to make a move. So he hasn't promised me anything. Okay? He hasn't promised me anything. When we get into our heated battles, he ain't promised me nothing. He's like, I'm not promising you nothing. Either you do it or you don't do it. Either or. And I like to do it, so I do it. But this is the problem. Okay? There's no promises now. But this is the thing. Anytime he promised the wife, the Democratic Party, anytime he promised the wife, he got to do it because why? The wife belongs to him. The wife belongs to him. The rainbow community got the Democratic Party in a chokehold. They got him in a chokehold. And the black community, you just got a wet ass and some money on the table. That's all you got. That's the best they can do for you. Give you a wet ass and some money on the table. And all we doing is singing these old Negro spirituals. We shall overcome someday. When y'all should have been singing this song when Biden was in the White House. When y'all got the House, the Senate, and the presidency. You could have got so many things passed. Because the black community is the only community that bring y'all mother so-and-sos in here. We're the only community that bring y'all Democrats in here. And now y'all done got tired of getting the same punani. You done got tired. So now y'all done got in here and got the migrants in here and said, now listen, we gonna give y'all all this, but you gotta make sure I get that punani. So now the migrants are the new hoe. So now you got a hoe with a hoe. Both hoes. You got two hoes. And the black community hoe, you getting kicked out. But you trying to hold on by a string, talking about, I love you, daddy, I love you. He don't love you. He don't love you. He been told you he didn't love you. He been told you. Shout out to the Breakfast Club, okay? So Representative Al Green is in here, okay? And this is what he said. Here we go. Shout out to the Breakfast Club one more time. Here we go.
Wake that ass up in the morning. The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlemagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lorna Rosa is here. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
We have Congressman Al Green. Welcome, brother.
Thank you, dear brother.
Thank you for joining us. How you feeling?
Yeah.
Well, I'm feeling quite well. Better than I deserve is what I usually say because, candidly, I have the gift of life. I didn't earn it, and I'm appreciative. And I try as best as I can to appreciate the life that I have. But current events, obviously, are on my mind. Mm-hmm. And notwithstanding these events, I still say that I'm better than I deserve.
I want to say something, man. A couple of weeks ago, the good brother Michael Eric Dyson reached out, and he said, Congressman Al Green in Texas wants to come on Breakfast Club. And I'm like, all right, for sure, connecting with the producers and everything else. So this is just divine timing because...
This is not divine timing. He asked a couple weeks ago to come on to the Breakfast Club. This is not divine timing. He needed chaos, okay? He didn't just want to get out there and speak. He needed chaos, okay? For him to go to the Breakfast Club so he'll have something to talk about. Because 3 weeks ago, what were you going over there to do? What were you going over to the Breakfast Club to do 3 weeks ago? Because this shit between Trump and you just happened. So what were you going over there 3 weeks ago to talk to Charlemagne about? See, the smoke and mirrors, y'all. The Democrats and Republicans do it. Smoke and mirrors. Just like when Crockett had that whole battle with Nancy. Nancy and her were on shows and shit. Same thing like when Crockett had that battle with Green. They both went on shows and shit. It's just smoke and mirrors. So we don't pay attention to the shit that's really going on behind the curtain. Nobody talking about how the small hat people have been making the people in Gaza suffer and haven't been giving them no food or water or supplies or nothing. They've been making those people 42 days or more. Them people ain't got shit over there. They ain't talking about that. They ain't talking about that though. Okay? You don't hear nobody saying nothing about that. Okay? Nothing. You don't hear them saying she. None of that stuff. Okay? Nobody talking about how all the other nations done got together in a war room. Nobody talking about that. All the other nations, this is allegedly, all the other nations done got into a war room and they're talking about going after Russia. Okay? And they're saying that America is on Russia's side. Where? Oh, y'all like to lie all the damn time. Where? Y'all get in here and just say bullshit. Where? I will say this till the cows come home. America is the rod and staff that the Britons hold. If Britain go to war, America is going to be right behind them. They're going to protect them. There's no way. Y'all got to stop that shit. Y'all just want the war to continue because it's money. It's money in war. That's why you want it to continue. Talk about, yeah, y'all know y'all going to have to go against Russia and America done turned on y'all. Use a damn lie. We have not. Use a damn lie. The shit that's going on behind the curtain is much worse. This is all smoke and mirrors. We shall overcome, damn it. We shall overcome. How many times do we got to sing that damn song? Let's continue.
That was in the making a couple of weeks ago, but then everything transpired this week.
At the State of the Union?
Yes, sir. What made you even want to come on a couple of weeks ago? What was on your spirit?
I admire the way you conduct your program, to be quite honest. But may I just step back a moment and say a kind word about Michael?
Absolutely.
I think so much of him. He's one of the great minds of our time.
Absolutely.
I don't know that he has an equal, to be very honest with you. So I'm grateful to him for reaching out on my behalf.
Thank you, Ricky.
But I wanted to come on because I know that you have an audience that may not have had an opportunity to hear some of the things that I think would merit their consideration. So this would be an opportunity to reach out and see if we can help persons better understand some of what's happening in Congress.
And not only do you have one of the greatest R&B singers' name, you got an R&B voice. You over here just smooth talking. You about to do the quiet storm.
Well, I've never been acknowledged in this fashion before. I have had people to say to me, well, let me give you this example. I was introduced, and it was a great introduction, one of the best introductions I've ever had. And as I was going to speak, the gentleman said to me, before you finish, would you just please sing one song? He knew not that I was. Just give us one song, please.
But I want to start from back before we get into everything that's going on. Who is Al Green and what made you want to get into serving people?
Well, it probably started early in life. When I was a child in elementary school, my teacher, Miss Graham, I believe was her name, had the class to all assume some office or run for some office. And I was running for class president.
Okay.
And my theme was Go with Green. And that meant something to me then, and it continued. President of student body, president of freshman class in college. Once you get into this, it seems to envelop you, and you just don't.
Why do Democrats always have that voice when they ready to like be seductive? You know, I got to, be seductive, I got to have that voice to make the people, know that I'm with you. Let's continue. Here we go.
Leave it immediately. So I didn't plan to do this. It sort of consumed me in a sense. And here I am. So it's not a contrived thing.
Now, they said you like HBCU so much you went to 3 of them.
Excuse me.
Well, I went to Florida.
Fairview, Howard,
I
and
know.
Tuskegee.
I know it is all
And
the time.
I also went
all
to
the time.
Texas Southern.
And Texas Southern.
Yes, sir. I enjoyed undergraduate. I really did. And by the way, for everybody's edification, I have no undergraduate degree. I was fortunate enough to get into law school. It was just a quirk of circumstance. And so I finished law school at Thurgood Marshall School of Law.
You caused some good trouble the other night when you stood up and spoke out.
One thing, Mr. Al Green is a very educated man. Can't take anything away from that. A very educated man. Let's continue, because now Charlemagne is going to get to the main event that I want y'all to hear. Here we go.
Is it just State of the Union?
No, it
It's
was
the
a
joint
session of Congress.
joint session of Congress. You stood up and spoke out at the joint session of Congress. I think what's getting lost is what you actually said.
Thank you.
And you said that you have no mandate on Medicare.
No mandate to cut Medicaid.
Medicaid.
No mandate to cut. Literally, friends, I had my coat, my cane, and I was about to make my exit because I really didn't want to sit through what I knew the president would do. So as I was about to make my exit, he made this
Okay, so he said there's no mandate on Medicare. So Medicaid is welfare and Medicare is Social Security. So the one that I said about Medicaid, that's true. They have always done that you have to work to receive your benefits. But Medicare, that's different. But I didn't hear Trump say he was cutting anything from Medicare. Now, if he cut the workers, okay, that they don't need that many workers, then okay, I understand that part. But he also said he was only cutting seasonal workers. So I don't know. Let's continue, okay? Let's continue. Another thing, too, that I did hear about Social Security was that if you get a private pension, okay, what they do is that they have to lower your Social Security. They said they were starting that in February. Okay, that's one thing that I heard. So if you get a private, okay, if you get private, and I just said it a few minutes ago, a private pension, okay, from your job, okay, that you retired from, they're going to start cutting your Social Security. So your Social Security won't be as much. Okay. Now I heard that for February. They were starting that in February. And the things will take effect in March. That's what I heard. Let's continue. Here we go.
About his mandate. And I said to him, you have no mandate to cut Medicaid. And by the way, I didn't come to say that. I did not. It was spontaneity. It was just something.
Thank you, Phoenix.
Yes. So I said it.
Thank you.
And of course, the speaker admonished me. He said that I should take a seat. But at the moment, I had to make the point.
He said I had
so
to
I
make
said
the
it
point.
again. The speaker admonished me again. And the speaker did his job. He said, well, you got to be removed. And so I was evicted. And by the way, the officers who evicted me were very kind.
Of course.
They didn't say anything to me that was
Of course, they should say
out of
crazy.
order. They were very kind to me. But it didn't matter to me what the consequences were. And I've shared this with other people. John Lewis and I were friends. And we talked about this notion
Thank
of
you,
peaceful
Corey Joe,
protest.
for the 13
And a
month
part of it
membership, baby.
is
Thank
not
you.
just getting in the way, as he put it. You have to get in the way. You have to be disruptive. People are not going to like you, some. But when you do this, you have to also be prepared to suffer the consequences. So when I did it, I was prepared to suffer the consequences, and I'm prepared now. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to like the consequences. You can be prepared to suffer things that you don't agree with. I don't agree with what happened, but I was prepared to suffer because Medicaid means so much to so many people.
So he agrees to suffer through the consequences now because of Trump, right? But when they were passing laws that it was okay to chop these babies parts off, right? Chop these children parts off, and change them and let them transition into, you know, their boys, and let them transition into girls, and the girls transition to boys. Why wasn't your voice speaking then? Why wasn't you ready to push the grain then? Why? A lot of the shit that was passed in Congress, in the House, why didn't y'all push the grain then? But now we got to push the grain now. We got to push the grain now. Let's continue. Here we go.
1 in every 5 persons with insurance in this country is covered by virtue of Medicaid. Mm-hmm. And if we lose Medicaid, we're going to lose lives. The president, by and through his agents in Congress, has issued a mandate, we passed legislation, to cut $880 billion from the committee that has jurisdiction over Medicaid. You cannot do that. You cannot do that without cutting into Medicaid. And if you do that, you're going to hurt a lot of people that I represent. So,
question, is the committee still in money? And that's why they saying that? Is the committee up there still in money? Because that's what we've been seeing since Doge had went in here and did their audits, that y'all have been still in money. Because all of y'all are millionaires and multimillionaires. So is it the committee that's getting this money and storing some of this money away for themselves? Because is that why? You know what I'm saying? See, people will only come out and tell you half of the story. They'll never tell you the full story because they want you to believe that they're the victim. Just like when a wife go and report her husband to the family member, she only gonna tell the shit that he done. She not gonna tell the shit she did. That's the uncomfortable part about some of this shit. And I'm not here to take Trump's side. I'm not here to take Trump's side, but I'm here to let us out. I'm here to let the black community know, okay, my sisters and brothers, we the hoe in this thing. We the hoe in this thing because they promise us everything and then they don't do it. They don't do it. They get up here, promise. How long they been promising? Since Big Mama been born. Since Big Mama. They've been promising since Big Mama and they haven't done shit. But Trump came in here. It's going on 3 months. This mother so-and-so out there pushing all the way to the end of the envelope. He like, y'all gonna do this shit. I'm gonna wield my power. Shout out to the wolf that's in the White House, damn it. Let's continue.
I'm standing for them because they can't stand for themselves, understanding that they need this health care.
I'm glad you explained that. But I also, you said something, you said that the speaker was doing his job. So if that's the case, why didn't Democratic speakers do their job and kick out Joe Wilson when he yelled out at Barack Obama, you lied? Why didn't they do their job and kick out Marjorie Taylor Greene or Boebert? Like, why don't they do their job?
This is why I came to the program, because I would get a question like this. And I really appreciate this question because it gets to the essence of where we are, but a good many of us don't realize it. There is still invidious discrimination. There is invidious discrimination in the House of Representatives. I'm a son of the segregated South.
All right, now, here comes the race card, everybody. Here comes the race card, okay? Here comes the race card. Because anytime they get reprimanded for something, here comes the race card. Here comes the race card. Do you hear me? Anytime they get reprimanded with something, here comes the race card. Here comes the race card. Let's continue.
Rights that the Constitution recognized for me, my friends and neighbors denied. I had to sit in the back of the bus, the balcony of the movie, drink from a colored water fountain, and my relatives who committed some crimes were locked up in the bottom of the jail. I know what invidious discrimination looks like. The Klan burned a cross in my yard. I know what it smells like. I was in filthy waiting rooms, and I've been in places where I didn't want to be, and I know what it sounds like. I've been called all kinds of ugly names. So I know invidious discrimination. And when the speaker decided that I would be removed, and then there was this motion, this resolution to censure me, it became obvious to me that I was not being treated as others were. And candidly speaking, it is invidious discrimination, harmful discrimination. I don't agree with that, but I was willing to suffer that because I knew that I had to get that message to the president and put this issue before the public, because the public has not grasped what's going to happen if Medicaid is cut. This is not about Black people. Most of the people of the plurality, they're Anglos. Black people are a smaller percentage of Medicaid, but this is about people who need health care. This president is a person who uses his incivility to take advantage of our civility. When I left, I went home and I saw the rest of the event on television, and I saw him point to the Democrats and say, these people are lunatics. He called the Democratic members of Congress lunatics. Now that is incivility. He will not be punished for that. He's not going to be sanctioned.
But Biden called all the Republicans who voted for Trump. You called us trash. Did you not call us trash? Have y'all not been name calling each other for God knows how long? Huh? Have y'all not sat up there and called us trash? Trump even took it a step further and got a truck. He went a step further, got a truck, a trash truck, and he got a vest. Did y'all not call us trash? We're more than the House and the Senate. So did y'all not call us trash who voted for Trump? Let's continue. Here we go. So y'all can only call names though, right? Y'all can only call names. Here we go.
Be reprimanded. He's not going to be censured. He does this with impunity. I believe that we have to meet incivility
We would
with
like both of y'all
incivility.
to stop.
I have to be prepared to suffer the consequences, but I'm prepared to meet his incivility that he uses to demean people. We have to use our incivility to uplift people. And I plan to do that.
I understand that, but why wouldn't the Democratic Speaker of the House censor those folks? Like, why wouldn't she call them out, or he call them out when Obama was in office? Why wouldn't Pelosi call them out when Biden was in office and do to them what they did to you when they disrupted
No respect.
joint?
Right. My belief is that what they've done to me exceeded what should be done. And that may be why, because they didn't want to exceed what should be done. That would be my guess. I candidly don't know, but I know that I have been treated differently. And I have accepted that it happened. I don't agree with it.
You have been treated differently. But who at the time when Obama got talked shit to, at the time when Biden got talked shit to, at the same event, the House Speaker was who? Nancy Pelosi. She didn't do nothing. She didn't do anything. She let it happen. The House Speaker now said, I'm not going to take this shit. I'm not going to take this shit. So it is what it is. Trump is here calling people names. I'm going to share something with y'all. This is the gospel truth. Trump is a New Yorker, and he's an old timer from back in the day. Get any old timer from back in the day right now, same age as Trump. If you call them out their name, they're going to curse you out. But if you be nice to them, what they're going to do? They're going to be nice back to you. There's other people who had conversations with President Trump, and they said he was the nicest man. They didn't even know he was that nice. Because why? These people ain't get up there and call him no names. Even if a Caucasian person get up there and call Trump a name, Trump gonna curse them out. He gonna curse them out. He gonna dog walk them. Trump is like everybody could get it. No matter what color you are. If you say something to me, you gonna get it back. At the end of the day, this man is up in age and he don't give two shits how you think about him. He don't care. Y'all know this. When older people get a certain age, they don't give a damn what you say. They're going to get in here and they're going to correct you and they're going to give you back that smoke that you gave them. So at the end of the day, when we get in here and say Trump was calling so-and-so names, what did y'all call him? Because I'm quite sure if y'all have never called this man out his name, he would not be making up names for y'all. And that's something petty right there. That's something petty, okay? Yes, Trump is petty, but I'll give two shits. That's something petty right there. Because I have never seen a president move this fast and going on 3 months than any other president that has held that White House. And even when he first got in here, that first term, he ain't know what he was doing. And he said it. He said, I didn't know what I was doing. He said, I didn't know what I was doing. He said, I thought these people were my friends and I thought that they were good people. And I found out who is the real enemies. I found out my real enemies. And that's why he went in there and said, let me just do what I want to do. Let me just do what I want to do. That's why I'm telling y'all, this man has been planning to be the president for the 4 years that Biden was president. He's been planning. This is why every time you turn around, here comes something coming out. Boom, 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 boom. You think he made this up? That, oh no, this morning I'm going to do. No, he done wrote this shit down that this is what he going to do. This is an executive order. This is an executive order. Because he been waiting. But y'all Democratic Party got all the black folks believing that y'all couldn't do all the things that we needed y'all to do. This is what y'all had us believe. We the hoe in this situation. Because you done put in your mind, the best thing I can do is wet that ass and give you a few dollars on the kitchen table. That's the best I can do for y'all black folks. Wet that ass and give you a few dollars on the kitchen table. Now I got to go home to my wife, who is from the rainbow community, and everything she say, I got to do. And if anybody get in here and say, take heed, you lying to yourself. Everything that has happened with the Democratic Party, the rainbow community has benefited from it. But everybody else, we in here in the dark and shit. We in here in the dark, okay? We in the dark. We're getting inconvenience. And we are a bigger majority than them. But that you got to remember, this is the wife. This is the wife. So what is he going to do? He's going to keep the promises to the wife. Because why? He owns the wife. The wife belonged to him. So I got to make my wife happy. While I will sit up here and just lie to my hoe. I'ma just lie to my hoe. And at times when I see her by herself, I'll wink at her, let her know like, yeah, honey, that for JJ was good. I'll wink at her, let her know. The wink is when they throwing little pennies at you. Here's a program. Here's a program that'll help you, you know, a little something, okay? While the wife get every program that is listed up there, she gets everything. But the hoe, you gonna get a little bit of pennies, okay? When I feel like it, I'm gonna come bust you down, and then I'm gonna go back to my wife. And if I wanna come bust you down every day, I'm gonna come bust you down, and then I'm gonna go back to my wife. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm busting you down, I love you. And I'm gonna tell you that I love you while you sucking on me, okay? I'm gonna tell you. We the hoe, y'all. We the hoe. We the hoe. All we get is a wet ass and a few $100 bills. You ain't tired of being the hoe. The black community, you ain't tired of being the hoe. I'm tired of being the hoe, y'all. I'm tired of being the hoe. Yes, damn it. I'm tired of being the hoe. I can't just be screwing you and sucking you and being on all fours, doing whatever you want me to do. And then after I'm finished, I get a wet ass and a few dollars on the kitchen table. I'm tired of being the hoe. Black people, you're not tired of being the hoe. I'm tired of being the hoe. We done been the hoe since Big Mama. You know how long that is? Well, in my age. We tired. We're tired of being the hoe. Let's continue.
I think that if you treat everybody else as you should, and then when I show up, you decide to treat me differently, I then protest that, and I do that. But I would protest, notwithstanding the way they've done it, simply because I think that at some point, even if nobody stands with you on some issues, they are so important that if nobody stands with you, it is better to stand
Hey,
alone
Doc,
than
how
not
are
stand
you?
at all.
I agree with you,
Love,
but I
I
also
see
believe
you.
Democrats are cowards. And that's why they didn't call out Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's why they didn't call out Joe Wilson when he did it. And Republicans, that's what happened the other night, it made a weak party look weaker. You looked strong, and I was sitting there wondering, well, why is nobody else standing up with that brother? Why is nobody?
He ain't look strong. Charlemagne, don't lie to him. He ain't look strong. Because the next day they was in here, we shall overcome someday. Oh, hell no. We shall overcome someday. When y'all had the highest office in the United States of America, the presidency. You had the Senate and the House. Where was we shall overcome someday then? When? When was we shall overcome? Because you have 4 years to overcome. When is we shall overcome? Now it's we shall overcome because Trump is in here. Okay? This is a white man. He's racist. Trump's racist. Trump's racist, everybody, y'all. Trump racist. This is a white man. Now we got to sing the old Negro spiritual.
Out with that brother in that moment. To me, it just shows you how cowardly the Democratic Party is.
Did you feel that way?
I was gonna say, did you feel like people should have left with you?
Yeah, do you feel like if we leave, like, one leave, we all leave. But together, we united.
Let me give you a proper predicate before I go to the specific point. I'm not a Democrat because I love the notion of being a Democrat. I don't have another option. This is the option that's available to me, the best option available to me. And I tell people that I'm a liberated Democrat, unbought, unbossed, and unafraid. Would I have stood with someone else had they done this? Yes.
Absolutely.
I would have. And
Now, you heard what he said. He said the only option he had was to become a Democrat. So there's not another option. You can't be an independent. There's no other option. Only a Democrat. That's the option. You can't be an independent, though. No, right? I ain't say you had to be Republican, but you can't be an independent. You can't be an independent. See, when me and my king, when we switched parties, we went to independent. We didn't go to Republican. We went to independent because we want to be able to choose the best candidate that fits our family. So we not just gonna vote, because we Democrat, we just gonna vote Democrat. Okay, we Republican, we just gonna vote Republican. No, we want to go with the best party that's gonna represent our family. This is what my king said. But he's sitting up here saying, okay, the best choice was Democrat. So Democrat agrees with, turning your boys into girls. That's the best option. Democrats believe that the migrants who do SA or the R word, same thing, to our people here, born and raised in the United States, that they do something to an American, that it's okay. It's okay. We're not going to deport them. That's what you believe? This is the party that you rock with. This is what you believe. See, the bad part is when a Democrat wakes up. When a Democrat wakes up, baby, a Democrat will throw all types of haymakers, smoke, and everything because they have been deceived for so long. That's me. That's me. That's me. So you can say whatever you want to say. You can call me a house ninja, all this other stuff you want to call me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you loving on master, all this other nonsense. You can say whatever you want to say. I got one master right now. He's at work. I got one master. One master. I only have one. That gave me his last name, and I got his rings on my finger. That's it. Okay? So say what you want to say, bitch. Now let's continue.
I believe that there are some Democrats who weren't there when he said lunatic. I'm sort of pleased that Maxine Waters wasn't there because I'm confident Maxine would have had some choice words for him, words that I wouldn't use. She's a master of scatology. And so but I don't begrudge them, to be very honest. I think people have to, on some of these questions, do what your conscience dictates. This was a dictate of my conscience, my convictions.
Right.
And I said to my friends, vote your conscience when we got to the vote in this case. Vote whatever your convictions are. I'm not trying to sway you one way or another. But I do say to you, and I've said this before, I'm not a Democrat because it was not like a religion for me. I'm there because it's the best choice that I have. And if I had another choice, I would opt for that.
Now you talk about you talk about consequences.
Yes, sir.
What are the consequences for what you?
Well, I'm about to suffer double jeopardy. They have censured me, which was to bring me before the House and read the statement that was a statement of censure. But there is now a movement to strip me of my committee assignments. I would call that double jeopardy. I will not agree with it, but I will still say to you, if I could do it again, I would, knowing that they would do these things, because it's not about me, it's about what Brother Charlemagne said, it's about the health care. And somewhere along the way, we make sacrifices. 60th anniversary, is that what it is, of crossing the Edmund Pettus Bridge today? John Lewis and those folk made...
And they will always go back. Now, listen to me. I'm not mad that most of our black elite will always go back to the old Negro spiritual, because we have to understand our history. But this has nothing to do with race. It doesn't. Y'all do not be fooled by the smoke and mirrors. This has nothing to do with race. Okay? Mr. Al Green was out of line. Okay? He was out of line with this forum. He was out of line. And this is what happens when you get in here and you get indignant. Okay? So even though he said he knew the consequences, but how long do they sanction him? How long is the sanction? Is it at 6 months? Is it a year? How long is the sanction? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Could this just be a little tap, 1 month or something like that? Okay? So he was willing to take the punishment. He's willing to take the punishment. You don't know how long. They don't keep them the whole term unsanctioned. They don't do that. It could have been a month, 2 months, maybe 3 months at most. So you being taken away from your committee for 3 months just because you spoke against something, this is all smoke and mirrors. This is not a race thing, y'all. He did something that he knew was out of line and it wasn't called for, and that's why. The speaker did their job. Now, Nancy Pelosi, you didn't do your job back then. You didn't do your job when it was under Obama, and you didn't do your job when it was also Biden. You had the understanding that you could have done the same thing, but you didn't. And so it is what it is. And the House Speaker is wielding his power properly. Let's continue. Nonsense. I'll be right back.
John Lewis explained to me he thought he was going to die on that bridge. Some people have to make sacrifices. So if sacrificing a congressional seat is going to help people get health care, then that's a good exchange. That's a fair exchange to get that health care for people who need it.
If they strip you of your committees, though, right? Like a person like you who you're not afraid, right? The committees that you're involved in, financial services, homeland security, diversity and inclusion in housing, community development, insurance. What does that mean for the people that, you're doing so much good for? Like, what effect are we going to see from that?
Well, I would hope that the person who follows will take up the same causes and will do as well as can be done. I don't believe that I'm the only Al Green in the world. Well, I know that. Maybe I shouldn't have said it that way. Okay. There is Mr. Love and happiness for the good times. But I think that there are other people who can take up this cause and do equally as well or better. I admire Brother Jamal Bowman.
Oh, I love Jamal.
Yeah,
Jamal would have stood with you.
Yeah,
100%. Matter of fact, Jamal wouldn't even have came. He wouldn't even have shown up.
I was tempted not to as well. Mm-hmm. I was. But I went to walk out. Mm. I did not go to make the statement. I went to walk out. But when he said he had this mandate, I had to then counteract that because I didn't want people to think that he would have a mandate to cut Medicaid. Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security, they are the foundation of what we call the safety net, and we have to protect them. And with Social Security, somewhere around 2035, we're going to have a shortfall, and we're going to have to do something to make sure that Social Security continues to make its timely payments. I have said we should raise the cap, meaning persons who make more than $176,100, I believe is the cap. Let's make them pay into the system too. Right now, if you make $176,100, all of your money is taxed for Social Security. 12.4%, 6.2 from you and 6.2 from your employer. Well, I think we have to raise that cap so that we can continue to have these payments. There are some people who would raise the age. And if they raise the age, Black men will become donors. We're donors right now to a certain extent because we don't live as long. Mm-hmm. Our lifespan is shorter. So raising the age only then causes some people to just pay into it and never benefit from it. And it's an investment, not an entitlement. Mm-hmm. So they won't collect on their investment. So I'm for raising that cap. That's important.
But he's saying raising that cap. But check this out. Say if all your youth, right, you had a good job and you was making money and stuff like that, and you have a choice not to pay into these other programs, Social Security Disability, and Social Security Medicaid. You have a choice. Because sometimes when you have made so much during your youth, you have made so much, right? And you continue to make so much till you like 50, 60 years old. You stayed at this company, you made this much money. You're not eligible for Social Security Disability. You're not eligible for Social Security. You're not eligible for Social Security Medicaid. You're not. So you want these people to pay into this program, but when they get older, they're not eligible to collect this money because they have made too much. And they tell you that in Social Security. They tell you that if you make too much, you're not able to collect on this money. So you want somebody to just put money in a piggy bank, and when it's time to collect, they have made too much, they won't be able to collect. How does Kiki know this? When my father was going through the same thing, trying to collect his money, right? Okay? They was fighting my daddy. They was fighting him for him to collect this money. I'm not saying my daddy, he had, I'm not saying he's rich. But my daddy made nasty money for many years working for the city. So when you make a certain amount of money, it's like, you can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't collect anything. You can't collect. Most of y'all already know this. I'm just making it up. You know this. When you make a certain amount, you can't collect on that Social Security or Social Security Disability or Medicaid or Medicare. I'm sorry. Let's continue.
For Medicare, we've got to make sure that we maintain this program. Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, they benefit Americans. We have a society where people can walk into places, typical stores, be millionaires, and nobody mugs you. The people who have much can visit places where people who have little and walk away. In many societies, you have to have armed guards with you. I may have to have one after, what's happened here lately. but you have to have armed guards and you have to be protected. But we have a peaceful society because of the way we treat people in the dawn of life and in the twilight of life. And I'm going to do what I can to help them.
You said your armed security, is it just you've been receiving like threats and stuff, or like?
Yeah, well, I don't want you to think that they started with this, but they've increased.
Intensified.
Yes, I have. Crystal can pull up some of those, and you can hear them if you'd like. But people, they don't think very much of my mother and my lineage, and they think that it would be appropriate for me to wear a rope as a necktie. So, but when you sign on.
Now, will I say he's lying about that? I would not say that. There are some horrible people in this world that will say some nonsense like that. People even had said to me in my chat, oh, I hope the KKK catch her. You know, and I'm your sister. I'm your sister. And you would say that to me. So I don't doubt that somebody been saying that to this man. I don't doubt that people have been sending him horrible messages and wishing death upon him and wishing, somebody get a rope and do nonsense to him. I don't doubt that. I do not doubt that at all. Okay? What he's saying, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it one bit. There are some horrible people in this world, okay? Even from our own culture, okay? Even from our own background. Let's continue. Here we go.
Plan on to have a party or just have a great time, you have to sign on for the times that exist, and you have to do what's necessary to make things better for those that you represent. And you just have to accept these things, and we do. I don't say to you, accept them and not be judicious, and not be prudent. You've got to be prudent enough to say, I want security. And notwithstanding that, things can happen to you, but you ought to at least do what you can to protect yourself. But Dr. King gave us some sage advice. He reminds us that a person who hasn't found something worth dying for isn't fit to live. Right. So we all have to find something.
But why do you find it now, though? Why do you find it now under Trump? Why you didn't find it under Biden? You gonna tell me that Biden was perfect? He did everything right for the people? Why you didn't find this courage under Biden? This is the thing that irks my nerve about some of our elders. That you didn't find the courage then. Why? When all this nonsense was happening under Biden, nobody found the courage then. Y'all welcome all these migrants in here. You welcome all these migrants in here, and EBT cars was dropping from heaven when American citizens could barely eat, okay? Lost their apartments and everything like that. Now, I know that losing an apartment, that played a lot in the things that these people were doing in their own lives. But y'all was welcoming these migrants in here with BET cars dropping from heaven. Where was your voice then? Where was the voice? Y'all all collectively said, let the migrants come in. And nobody guarded the wall like they were supposed to. Why did we let all these people come in here? And some of them were gang members and criminals and all that other stuff. I understand, let's help the mother, the father, and the children who want safety. But y'all have let monsters come in here and dictate how America is supposed to run. And no other nation will have let migrants come in their nation and rule them. Y'all let an apartment building for 3 months be ruled by some migrants from a gang for 3 months. And y'all didn't do she. Y'all didn't do she until it got out in the news. And we find out that y'all let these people run this apartment complex. 3 apartment complexes for 3 months. They ruled over these people and took the rent from these people. And y'all let them. In America, you couldn't do that shit in Africa. You could not. A whole bunch of y'all couldn't go to Africa and do that. The people will whoop y'all ass. The people will whoop y'all ass. Okay? You couldn't go to Jamaica and do that shit. The people will whoop y'all ass. You couldn't go to Mexico and do that shit. The people will whoop y'all ass. They will whoop y'all ass. You couldn't go to France and do that shit. The France people will whoop y'all ass. You couldn't go to Britain and do that shit. The Britain people will whoop y'all ass with their nightsticks. Let's continue.
When you say you told people to vote for their conscience and then 10 Democrats voted to censure you, what does that say about their conscience?
Well, here again, this is why I'm on your program. I assure you that question would not be put to me as you just put it to me on most other places and most other venues. I think that it is something.
Did y'all hear that? 10 Democrats voted to censure him. 10. 10. 10.
That they will have to deal with. I don't want to say to them, here's what your conscience should have dictated. What I want to do is be an example and say, here's what my conscience dictates. And if you believe that I'm a good example, then you can adjust. But if you think not, then I have to accept you as who you are. I let them deal with their conscience. Conscience is something that's within us, and it causes us to have moral imperatives. This was a moral imperative for me. If no one else has the same moral imperative, I let them wrestle with it. I would not feel good about myself had I not done what I did.
Do you feel like this presidency changes the landscapes of presidency from here on out? We've seen things like executive orders on the first day. The man put a desk on in the middle and was signing and throwing pens out. Does this change the presidency for here on out?
I don't know about ad infinitum, but I do know that for the foreseeable future, there will be others who will try to emulate him. He's growing this crop of mini Trumps. But this...
What'd he say? That Trump is growing the crops of many. He's growing the crops of many Trumps. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Alyssa, now you know why I said, oh no, not Alyssa, I'm sorry. Love, you know why I said nightsticks? Because you know Britain don't have guns. They ain't got guns. They got nightsticks. They ain't got no guns. Okay? All right? He said the crops of many Trumps. Okay? He's building a crops of many Trumps. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Okay? Because when y'all had the House and the Senate and the presidency, y'all didn't do shit that y'all was supposed to do. Y'all just laid back and collected that money. All of y'all, Republican and Democrat. All y'all did was collect that money. How some of y'all go in to being a senator or a Republican and y'all be, you know, how can I say this? Y'all be filing chapter 11 and shit. Some of y'all be just broke as shit. And then now all of a sudden, 2 years later, you a millionaire. How does that happen? Hakeem Jeffries, I'm looking at you, baby. I'm looking at you. How does that happen? How does that happen, baby? You ain't had no money. How does that happen? You only been in here the first 2 years. How does that happen, baby? How does that happen? You a multimillionaire. How does that happen, sir? You went in there, you were filing chapter 11. How are you rich now? How are you multi-million-dollar? How you doing that? Ain't no mother. Let's continue. Here we go.
Is a menace to dignity.
I'll be right back.
To dignity. You fire people in mass. You have no idea as to what their responsibilities are to family members. Maybe there's someone who's sick and they're the breadwinner and they have to take care of this person. Could have a child in college that needs these funds, these emoluments to take care of education. You just don't know, and to fire people in mass indicates to me that you just don't respect the humanity and dignity of people that you don't know. There is no due process associated with this process. Elon Musk becomes the arbiter of due process. A guy with a chainsaw who is worth more than anybody else, it seems, who believes that he can make decisions that impact people that he just does not know in an arbitrary and capricious way. I think he's a menace to dignity. But he's also a threat to democracy. A threat to democracy because the Supreme Court has led him to believe that he's above the law. He's not, in theory, de jure, de facto, maybe. But in theory, he's not. He's not above the law, but he believes he is. He has an inordinate amount of influence over the House of Representatives and the Senate. I've seen people who I thought had great principles just cave, as it were, give in to him, succumb to him, and allow him to cause them to do and say things that I thought I'd never see them do or say. So he has the House, the Senate, and the judiciary, and if he defies court orders, at that moment, dear brothers and sisters, he will become a dictator. And we will be under a dictatorship.
But he's already defied court orders.
He's a threat to democracy. He's appealed them. And his appellate process is there when you differ.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Congressman Al Green. I've called him a threat to democracy quite often, but I'm sick of that talk. And the reason I'm sick of that talk.
And Charlemagne is right, because I'm sick of that talk too. He's a threat to democracy, but who the one who punked out Facebook? Who punked out Instagram? Who punked out YouTube? Who punked out Google? Okay? Who did that? It was the Democratic Party. Allegedly. I don't want my channel to get taken down for they say, I'm doing propaganda. Okay? So, allegedly, y'all punked all these platforms to not let us speak the way we wanted to speak. Is that not dictatorship? Is that not dictatorship? Didn't y'all keep us in the house? Okay? We couldn't go to work and stuff like that. The kids couldn't go to school. And if we worked in healthcare, you had to take the shot. And if you didn't take, I shouldn't have said shot. You had to take the jab, okay? And if we didn't take the jab, what happened? You lost your damn job. You lost your job. That's the uncomfortable truth. That's what you did to us. So who is the dictator? Y'all shut down businesses, mom and pop businesses that lived off the stuff, okay, that lived every day through their means of work. Y'all shut that down, okay? Y'all made people who were sick even still come to work if you worked in healthcare. You had to come to work sick. They would tell you, put that mask on, put your whole, put the gear on. You still got to come to work. You sick, coughing up, hacking up everything. You still got to be to work because there's not enough staff. Get that ass out of here. Talking about, well, he's a dictator. Who was the real dictator? You had the House, the Senate, and the presidency. And yet y'all didn't take care of us. What y'all did was take care of the migrants. Now, I'm not against people coming here because they want a better life. They want to be safe. There's nothing wrong with that. But not when you come here and you shit at my front door and you say, fuck everybody. That's my problem. When you come here, you shit at the front door and you say, fuck everybody. And y'all get in here and talk about Americans are lazy and shit like that. That's the problem I got. When it was our tax money that gave y'all EBT cards that was falling from heaven, bitch. Let's continue.
Because Democrats don't ever act like he is. Even when they were in power, the last 4 years with Biden, that didn't stop the so-called fascism. So why should we ever believe anything that comes out of Democrats' mouth ever again about any of this?
Thank you again for your question, sir. Is right. I have said that we should not wait until he becomes a dictator to try to remove him. Now, I understand that we don't control the House, but that doesn't mean that we can't still bring articles of impeachment, because if the courts can't stop him and he has control of the generals, because all of those generals that he appointed have to pledge fealty to him. Mm-hmm. If he has control of the generals, the courts can't stop him, and the House of Representatives, the Republicans won't stop him, then that leaves it to us. There are 400.
Why the courts can't stop him? The courts can stop him, but they don't see anything he's doing wrong. That's why. That's why. The courts can stop him, but they don't see him doing anything wrong. The stuff he's doing is not illegal to stop payments. It's not illegal. He want to see where the money is going. It's not illegal for him to stop payments. It's not illegal for him to stop y'all having all these credit cards and an unlimited limit. You ain't got no limit on the damn credit card. I don't blame him that he only gave y'all $1 on those damn credit cards. Because some of the shit y'all been doing with those credit cards, and I said it in the beginning, y'all doing lavish vacations, lunches and shit. You buying clothes and shoes and stuff. And that money on that card is not for that. It's supposed to be for the shit that you need done in your city, your town. That's where that money's supposed to be. When you want to do turkey drives, you want to do a food drive, that's where that money is supposed to go. It is not supposed to go for Armani suits and red bottom heels and shit and anything else y'all can think of and shit. The money is not supposed to go for that. So I don't blame him for putting $1 on those credit cards, because what have y'all been doing? Nobody has held y'all ass accountable. What have y'all been doing?
Of us. We each have the authority, the ability to bring articles of impeachment. And I'm going to do that.
Why?
Because
He
I
said
think
why.
that you have to go on the record, even when you can't make the change.
But he's been impeached twice already, and that ain't stopped nothing.
It didn't stop him. In fact, he was voted back into office with 2 impeachments and 34 felony convictions. But that doesn't mean that I should not bring them and make the effort. I've got to do all.
I'm tired of that 34 convictions. I'm tired of that, okay? I'm so tired of y'all doing that, because I'm going to share something with you. The same shit that Trump did that got him in 34 convictions, all of y'all motherfuckers have done that shit. All of y'all. The only thing is that ain't nobody has sent Big Tish after y'all ass. That's the only thing. Ain't nobody sent Big Tish after y'all ass, okay? Big Tish is the one that caused all this foolery. And y'all have done the same thing that he has done. Y'all have done the same thing he has done, but the only thing, Big Tish wasn't on y'all ass, and that's why y'all had made this man a criminal. Let's continue.
I grew up with this belief from parents that when you can't do what you need to do as much as you should do all you can. Just do all you can. And there's a song that I'm sure many of you have heard. The song has these words: after you've done all that you can, just stand. Just stand. And I stand.
I have a question for you about how people look at the institution of the office of the president. I know you were a part of bringing the articles of impeachment in 2017. You said you're going to do it again.
Yes.
You got the 10 Democrats that Charlemagne just mentioned that voted to censor you. Their direct quotes were basically you needed to learn some decorum and respect the office of the president, right? Yeah. So to his point, some of that is probably going to go out the window. People won't care. How dangerous is it that there are Democrats or just people in general that feel like despite what's happening, it's the institution of the president?
Why wouldn't they say that about the president? They need to be saying that about the president.
Well, I concur with you.
I hate
It's
Democrats.
No, people really understand. You realize how scary it is.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't even that it's scary. The Democrats are
scary.
just cowards, man, in every way.
I completely agree that they should say that.
And he's right. They are cowards. He's right. How many times do I got to say this? They are cowards. You had the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and y'all didn't do shit. Y'all didn't do shit. Everything the rainbow community wanted, that's what y'all did. That's what y'all did. But everything that the rest of us wanted, y'all said, fuck us. That's what y'all said. Fuck us. And y'all gave everybody of the rainbow community what they wanted. If you like the content, please like and subscribe to the page. Also donate to the page as well. Let's continue. Here we go.
But the president, especially given that he on national TV called Democrats
Raging left lunatics, or something like that.
lunatics.
The lunatics gave quotes,
Lunatics.
but it wasn't about him. It was about you.
Yeah, I understand. I would not have said this about them. I would not. I can only say to you, they have to live with their words. I have to live with mine.
How do you feel though? Like it's all as you stand and you fight and then when you turn your back and you think the people behind you are back there, and then you look and you realize that they're not.
Well, one slight adjustment. I didn't look to see, and I didn't have that expectation.
Gotcha.
I stood because of the people that I represent who cannot be there to stand for themselves.
Understood.
So again, I would do it again. I will suffer the consequences. And if my being evicted can make a difference in the lives of those people who need Medicaid, Social Security, and Medicare, I would do it. The state of Texas was accorded $100 billion for Medicaid and rejected it. Rejected it because at some point the state of Texas would have to pay 10% of that amount, the amount that was being paid, and the federal government would pay 90%. Well, there's talk of sending money to states now rather than having the federal government have its fingerprints on this process. If that happens.
Why not though? Why not? Why does it have to go through a committee? Let it just go straight to the state and let the state deal with it. Am I right? Wouldn't that make sense? Then you would need all these committees that they make it up. Because something is going on. The money is going to the committee, but it's not going to the right places. Because check this out. With all these committees, right, for certain things, these people are becoming millionaires, multi-millionaires, because they retrieve the money first. Do you understand? Y'all understand what I'm talking about? Like, you done got like 7 cuts from this money first. And then now it goes to the state. You got like 7, 8 cuts from this money, and then now it goes to the program. This is the shit that Trump is trying to stop. Okay, you don't need a committee for that. Let's just send the money to the state and let the state deal with it. That's what they're trying to get the federal hands off this money. Let the money just go to the state. Let the state deal with it. Because now the state know if they mess this money up, they got to deal with the problem. The federal won't have to deal with the money, to deal with the problem, because the state got the money. Now the state got to answer for it. So it's easy for the government to audit the state. Do you see what I'm saying? Instead of them having to go to each committee, and the committee is cutting the money twice, 3, 4 times, 5 times. It depends on how many people is in the committee. He not fighting because, oh, I want to save this program. He fighting because if they drop the committee, see, we get into the nitty gritty. If they drop the committee, then he don't get it. They don't get a chance. All those people in those committee don't get a chance to cut that money 3, 4 times and then send it out to the program. Let's continue. Here we go. Allegedly.
Will abuse it. Texas doesn't regard poor people with any degree of respect that I would give them. So I have to fight to keep it out of the hands of the leaders in the state of Texas. And that's what this...
Did you hear what he said? He said he got to fight. See, that's what I'm talking about. Look at y'all. You hear this, right? I got to fight with the state of Texas. This is his own state. Why you got to fight with the state of Texas about some Medicaid money, Medicare money? You got to fight with them about some money. That the money belongs to the state. What is the committee for? They got to cut this money a couple times, then send it to the state. Now, these people don't have coverage. What happened? The state is responsible. The state is responsible if these people don't have coverage. There's no committee that need to be led. There's no committee. This is the same thing that they want to do with reparations. They claim, let's get in here and have a committee for reparations. So now if they decide that reparations will come, it'll go through the committee. Everybody on the committee going to be black. They're going to cut this money 3, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, and then send it out to everybody else. But I want to assure you this will not happen. I know some of y'all like, damn, take heed. Wait a minute. No, this will not happen. Reparations will not happen. I'm not against it, but it won't happen. Why all this, reparations wasn't brought up under Biden? You had the House, the Senate, and you had the presidency. Y'all didn't bring up reparations then. When you had a chance to, Okay, the Black Caucus dropped it. They dropped it. They voted against it. You had a chance to make the change. You did not. Black community, you are a hoe to the Democratic Party. Only thing you get is a wet ass and a few $100s on the table. I said what I said. Let's continue.
It's a fight, and I'll do as best as I can. I don't guarantee victory, but I guarantee a fight.
Guys, a question: Did Democrats coordinate any type of real form of resistance the other night, or was everybody just doing their own thing? Because we saw the people with their pickleball paddles, and you said yours was spurred a moment. Like, did anybody have a conversation? Because I know Hakeem Jeffries was trying to get people not to do anything.
We meant signs, not pickleball paddles. The signs.
Those pickleball paddles. I know Hakeem Jeffries was trying to get people not to do any type of disruption, which I thought was beyond cowardly. Was there any conversation amongst y'all?
I am probably what you would call a maverick. I tend to, as I said, I'm a liberated Democrat. I tend to deal with my conscience and my convictions. And I have not been engaged in those kinds of conversations.
Gotcha.
I think most people...
Lies. They all knew they was going to act the fool that day. Lies. They all knew they was going to act the fool that day. Why you think he contacted Charlemagne a couple weeks before? Because they all knew they was going to do some bullshit at that at the State of the Union. They knew they was going to do some bullshit there. Or what do they call it? I think it's what do they call it? We're just going to go with the State of the Union. He did say it earlier, but I have forgot what he said. Let's continue. Here we go.
That Al Green is probably going to do what he wants, so let's not bother. And they're probably right. So I'll do the best that I can to be as good as I can and be of service. But I think that in the future, I think we'll have an impact. I really do. I think that people will give some thought to how we should behave in the future. And I have suggested that we have to meet incivility with incivility. Ours is for a different cause. Theirs is to demean. Ours is to uplift. But I think we have to use incivility. What I did was an act of incivility.
He said theirs were to uplift, right? The protest that they were giving was to uplift. But when President Trump mentioned DJ Daniels, okay, why y'all didn't get up and clap? When President Trump mentioned the victims of I think the mother and the father, the siblings were there as well. Their daughter was brutally R-worded by a migrant. Y'all didn't get up and show love to that family. Nobody got up when the young girl who she was, I guess, a teenager at the time, and boys were welcome into volleyball, and she was at a competition, and the boy hit her so hard in her face that she had brain damage. So if we are the party, you're saying you're the party, you're trying to show love, how come y'all didn't stand up? I could understand y'all not standing up for Trump's speech. Okay, fine. But when they mention the children, why didn't y'all stand up? Now they're saying that the Republicans had did this too. 1 year, maybe it was under Biden, I don't remember. But all y'all so-and-so mother so-and-sos, we just want y'all to do your job. Show compassion for when our own is in trouble. Either black, white, Hispanic, Mexican, African, Haitian, I don't care what color they are. Just get in here and show love because we put you there. We put you there. We just want you to do your job. I don't care if y'all believe, oh, well, Trump did this just to get some brownie points or Biden did this just to get some brownie points. We give two shits. We just want you to show love and do your damn job. That's all we want you to do. When those children have those horror stories, we want y'all motherfuckers to stand up and clap. That's what we want you to do. Stand up and show love. That's what we want you to do. Let's continue.
And when they reprimanded me with the censure, we sang We shall overcome. Right there in the well, the speaker tried to gavel us out, but we didn't stop. That was an act of incivility, and it was really a response to the president's incivility. So we have to use incivility. That is another way of saying protest.
You know, Envy brought up a good question. And if we ever get another Democrat president, right?
We not.
When we see all of the things that Trump is currently doing, and we see, wow, presidents really do have power if they have the political will and courage to use it. I want to see a Democrat do that. Why can't a Democrat move like that for the good things?
Yes, I
right.
absolutely agree with you. I'll be quite candid with you. I didn't know. I'm a lawyer. Okay? I'm a lawyer.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
See, even Al Green said, I didn't even know the president could move like that. So this is why I'm telling y'all, Trump been planning for 4 years what he can do and what he can't do. He's testing his limits. He's been doing this for 4 years. All these executive orders didn't just come out of the woodwork, baby. He probably got a whole book of what executive orders he was going to fill out. He said, I'm going to push my executive orders to the limit, baby. I'm going to push it to the limit. Y'all gave them to me. I'm going to push them to the limit. And do I blame him? No, I don't blame him. I don't blame him one bit, damn it. I don't blame him one bit. If you like the content, please like and subscribe to the page. Also, donate to the page. Corey Joe, I didn't forget you, baby. Thank you for the membership, the 13-month membership, honey. I appreciate you. Thank you to Ricky for the $25 Cash App. Sir, thank you so much. And also to Morgan. Morgan, thank you for the $5 Super Chat, baby. I appreciate you. Now, here we go.
Be candid with you. This is a candid program, by the way. I did not realize that a president has so few guardrails. Donald Trump has pulled the cover back. You know, he's lifted the blinds, the shades, and we now see that a president has very few obstacles to prevent him from prevent them from doing whatever they want to do.
That's right.
Very few. This president has decided that he will use executive orders as opposed to using Congress.
I don't blame him.
And he's issuing executive orders in areas that we've never seen a president give us these executive orders, issue these executive orders. He has demonstrated to us that it is more about the will to do things than the way. The way is there. The question is, do you have the will? And my answer to you, dear brother, is yes. I would hope that a Democratic president would use this authority, not for the purpose that he's using it. He seems to think that the very wealthy, the plutocrats, need more to do more, and that the poor among us can do more with less. Poor can do more with less. The wealthy need more to do more. I would hope that a Democratic president would have a better view.
And that's what they always do. They always get in here and say, oh, Trump gonna give the rich more. He's gonna give the rich more. I don't know if y'all ever hear him get up here and say that so-and-so is donating this much money. So-and-so is donating this much money to America, not him. They're donating the money to America to fix the deficit, okay? He taking that money and putting it to the deficit. So the thing is that he's letting these companies do whatever they want to do because he needs them to come in here and start doing some work. Everything that we have in our house is not even made by the United States of America. Anything that you have in your house right now, the desk that I'm sitting at, you hear me? The living room set, none of this stuff is made in America. Not even your TVs. Nothing we have is made here. And he's trying to make it that we need to start making shit here. This is the same thing that happened when we had C-19. All the supplies we were waiting for was overseas. Nothing was made here. This is when Americans had to start making shit here. Even hand sanitizer is not made here. What kind of shit? Okay? Even hand sanitizer, mask is not made here either. What kind of shit? Okay? Small shit is not even made here. Small shit that we needed, gowns and shit. Gowns are not made here. You know what I'm saying? We're waiting for tubing and shit for the hospital. None of that shit is made here. All that shit is in a foreign country that was sick. All that shit is in a foreign country that was sick. That started off being sick first. He's just saying we need to start making shit here. And I don't blame him for that. And I'm going to share something with you. And I'm not being nasty. I hope I don't see another Democratic president. I hope I don't. I hope I don't. Because the Democratic Party is married to the rainbow community. Okay? And the African American community is the hoe. I'm tired. I'm tired. How many times do I get to get fucked? I'm tired. This is some shit right here. All you get is a wet ass and a few $100s on the table. I'm going to keep saying that for the rest of the show, damn it. Let's continue.
Of what the needs of society are and try to help uplift people who are living in the streets of life, not to the detriment of those who live in the streets. There's enough for all of us. But let's look after those who live in the streets. And there are a good many who are not getting any help at all.
Don't you admire that, though, in a way? Don't you admire the fact that he is willing to do whatever he wants to do for his base?
I don't blame him.
Well,
Because that's what anybody who supported Democrats, that's all we ever want. Do something for the base.
Something.
Keep your promises.
That's it.
He keeps his.
yeah, well, Brother Charlemagne, may I just give you this predicate before I get to your question? We made promises. People have said that black men, as you know, were one of the reasons, and that, in a sense, black people in general voted for Trump, and that hurt us. And they're saying that members of other communities, the labor community, didn't vote as they should have. Well, we made promises, and you mentioned that. We said, give us the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and we'll pass Voting Rights Act, John Lewis Voting Rights. Mm-hmm. We'll pass George Floyd Justice and Policing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We will raise the minimum wage. Mm-hmm. We will, for the labor folk, pass the PRO Act, Protect the Right to Organize Act. For the members of the LGBTQ plus community, we would pass the Equality Act. Well, we had the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and we didn't do it. That's your point. Mm-hmm. That's your point. Mm-hmm. We didn't do it.
Right.
But here's to add to your point. When Republicans had the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and they didn't have enough votes to bring us to cloture. Cloture is where you get 60 votes, so you pass something with 51 votes. Mm-hmm. When they couldn't get to cloture with 60 votes, they said, fine. They made the following motion, not in these exact words, when there was a federal judgeship up. They said, we believe that we should pass this judgeship on with 51 votes. And the chair overruled that and said, no, you've got to have 60. And I remember the person making this motion, asking this, said, I appeal the ruling of the chair. Now, when you appeal the ruling of the chair, you only have to have 51 votes. Mm. So the 51 votes then allowed them to take up the issue of placing this person on the Supreme Court with 51 votes, as opposed to 60. We did a similar thing with John Lewis Voting Rights. Mr. Schumer did. And when we took our votes, we had 48 Democrats to vote with us. 2 did not. Manchin and Sinema did not. If they had, then Vice President Harris would have come over and been the 50. So we could have passed George Floyd Justice and Policing. We could have passed John Lewis Voting Rights, all of the things that I've said.
Right. And no Democrat ever threw Manchin and Sinema under the bus.
I never understood that. Manchin is like a menace. He be giving y'all hell.
You know, y'all give him a speech now. But you gave it, absent some of the language you used. My mother would have loved this program. She was a master of scatology. But so they didn't pressure them like they pressure us. You know, like they treat me in a sense. Mm-hmm. Okay, they didn't pressure them. But here is what happened. And now I'm getting to your question. Here's what happened. There are 2 political banks in this country. There is the Republican political bank and the Democratic political bank. Now, there's some smaller within some small institutions. If you put your energy and effort, your deposits, if you will, into the Democratic Bank, you expect your return to come from the Democratic Bank.
Yes.
If the Republican Bank does something for you, you're not going to reject that, but you put your deposits in the Democratic Bank. When the Democratic Bank did not give them a return on investment, then persons lost their enthusiasm. So I don't blame people who lost their enthusiasm because we didn't honor what we said. If we had the House, the Senate, and the presidency in 2021, and we did not deliver, I see how people could lose enthusiasm. So that's where we were. That's what happened. But my hope is that we're learning a lesson, and my hope is that we will be truthful about it. That's the way I see it. Now, there are other people who would blame people who didn't vote,
but they don't want to be truthful about it, because what did they do? They turned around and started telling black women, Trump won because black men failed us. Trump won because black men failed us. I'm gonna share something with you. Our brothers did not fail y'all. They voted behind y'all like they always do. Only 21% of them said hell to the no, no, no. And 7% of black women said hell to the no, no, no. The rest of y'all Negroes all got together and said yes to the yes, yes, yes. Okay? To all the rainbow agenda, y'all said yes to the yes, yes, yes. Because they got out here and scared the shit out of y'all. It was like, oh, the police gonna have immunity. The police gonna be able to do whatever they wanted to do. Let me share something with y'all. All black people are not criminals. All of us are not criminals. All of us are not criminals. If y'all looked into what Trump was trying to do, you would have understood that. But because y'all had time to blame black men, it's black men's fault. It's black men's fault. That's why Trump is in the White House. It's black men's fault. No, you know who you got to blame. You know who you got to blame? I want you to get in here and understand this properly. You're going to blame the white man. You got to blame the white men, and you got to blame the Hispanic men. You got to blame the Hispanic women, okay? You got to blame the white women. The white women, they got out there too, okay? Then you can get in here and start blaming the 21% of black men and then the 7% of black women. Then you can blame us at the end. But you got to blame all of them first and then blame us after. Not out the gate and blame us. Not out the gate and blame us. We were not the problem. You can't blame us out the gate. All that sisterhood and solidarity with the Caucasian sisters. They let y'all know. They let y'all know. All hell to the no, no, no. Same thing back in the 70s. They let y'all know. When y'all ass got out there, you running away from your families from the late 60s to 70s. Y'all got out there and said, no, we in solidarity. And those Caucasian women put their aprons on and went back in the house and called their husband daddy. They went right back in the house. Did it hurt? Is that nasty? Did I make you mad? You upset? It's true. It's true. And so now that Trump won, thank you, Eric. Eric said donations. And now that Trump won, okay, he won. Y'all want to get in here and blame black men. Black men didn't do nothing. They didn't do anything. They loved their sister so much. They followed her into a burning house. They loved their sisters so much, and they wanted peace in their household. They followed y'all into a burning bush, a burning house, honey. And then you had the 21% of kings that said, this is my motherfucking house. And we vote in Trump. You had some kings that got in here and said that. And this is where you got, and some of those kings wasn't married and some was. And then you got the 7%. I was a part of the 7%. My king said, we're not voting Democrat. And I had to have a long conversation with him. And he said, we still not voting Democrat. So what did I have to do? I voted Republican, like what my king said. I know y'all gonna say, well, bitch, what? Yes, I'm obedient. I'm obedient to my husband. Now to anybody else, you got a problem. But to my king, I'm obedient to him. And because y'all mad with the white women now too. Y'all was mad with them. Okay? Okay, Reed was at the helm of it. Joy Reed was at the helm. Talking about y'all turned on us. They been turned on us a long time ago. Cause they know without their men, there's no family structure. But black women, y'all out here, yeah, we gonna do it on our own. We gonna raise these kids on our own. We don't need no man, long as we got the village. How does the village get made without the man? I'll wait for it. How does the village get made without the man? I'm gonna wait for it. If the man is not there, how did the children get formed? I'm gonna wait for it. Oh my God. So we done with Charlemagne. We done. Okay. Shout out to Charlemagne. Shout out to Charlemagne for doing the damn thing. Amazing work, my brother. Okay. Because all I wanted was to hear this man tell the truth. That's what I wanted. I wanted this man to tell the truth. Okay. And he did. The Democratic Party did what? What did they do? You had the House, the Senate, and the presidency. You didn't do shit. More than two, baby. No more than two now, okay? Shots on me, but no more than two, baby, okay? So, at the end of the day, do I believe that Al Green did this on a whim? I don't believe it. I don't believe he did it on a whim. I don't. I believe he already planned he was going to do that shit, and that's why he asked to see Charlemagne a couple weeks prior. I believe he already planned he was going to act a fool at the address to Congress. Oh, I got it right. To the address of Congress. That's why I believe he did what he did, because he already knew he was going to act a damn fool. That's why he contacted Charlemagne. And probably the House had already emailed everybody, if you do any outbursts, if you act up in any way, you will be escorted from the premises. I bet you the email went out and they still did whatever they was going to do. They knew it was going to happen. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Because you know if your boss is coming and they send out an email, the supervisor sent out an email, listen, be on your best behavior, so-and-so is coming. Ain't nobody gonna tell me that they did not get the memo. Don't act the fool. This is why you contacted Charlemagne 3 weeks prior, because you knew you was gonna act up. Oh, this gonna be a big thing. This gonna be my sound bite. This gonna be my 3 minutes of fame. This smoke and mirrors bullshit. But we not talking about what's going on with the small hat people. We not talking about what's going on with Ukraine. All this nonsense. And quiet is kept. I don't care what nobody say. The West was supposed to help more when it came to the money. Not just America help with Ukraine. That's not right. And so now they got this little fake nonsense news going around saying that America is going to side with Russia. Where the hell where? Where the hell where? We have never done shit like that. Where the hell where? Oh, because Trump trying to keep the peace. You don't think Trump would do some shit if Russia moved in the wrong direction? Trump gonna do some shit that's gonna stall him. Don't get in here and be like, oh yeah, they gonna be siding with Russia. He's trying to calm the shit the fuck down so we don't go into World War III. But y'all motherfuckers out here talking about, oh, cause y'all warmongers. That's why. We know war bring money. We know. We ain't stupid. Also, another thing, Miss Maxine Waters, we're about to change a little bit. Miss Maxine Waters, now we know why you was on MSNBC trying to fix that wig. Yes, I'm cracking on her wig. Now we know why you was trying to fix that wig and the wig was about to fall off your head. Now we know why you were so upset with the Doge team. Now we know why. Shout out to this young man. I can't pronounce his name correctly, but it looked like Abu Bar. Nope, it's a Muslim name. I'm gonna mess it up. Let me just leave it alone. Anyway, I shared the video. Every video that I play in today, like normal, like we always do, I share it in our group chat so you can go back and check it out. Okay. So here's Miss Maxine Waters. This is why she wants. She don't want Doge up in here auditing everybody. This is why. Check it out. This is why. Here we go. Hold on. There we go. This why.
See. So this is why you had a problem with Elon Musk and Doge going through the federal government to find out where the Americans' hard-earned tax-paying dollars were going.
All right now.
Maxine. And who knows how long she been doing this shit. Increasing them net worths. Stealing. You got caught. Blue-handed. The blue-handed man.
You know why he's saying Maxine got caught is because Maxine has been funneling. They said funneling. Should be funding. But funneling more than, I guess that's the same. Yeah, I guess it's like trying to be funny. Funneling more than 1.2 million to her daughter. Throughout the years to oversee a mailing setup. $1.2 million to her daughter, okay? Throughout the years to oversee a mailing setup. So she's saying that she uses her daughter, okay, to send out mail when it's time for her to be voted in to her state again. So her daughter is in charge of all the mailing process that go out to all the constituents and stuff like that. $1.2 million, okay? Now that could be just when she's getting ready to be voted in again. So that's every 2 years because she's a House of Representative, I believe, okay? So that's every 2 years. So her daughter is getting that much money every 2 years, or is that over the lifetime, you know, of her being in, you know what I'm saying? That, you know what I'm saying? Now, listen, she's not the only one. Everybody else do it too. You get those children in here and have them do something. I'm not mad at her. But a spade is still a spade, baby. A spade is still a spade. Okay? A spade is still a spade. Now, Renee says state contractors most likely. Yep. I understand she trying to keep the money in the family, but a spade is still a spade. Y'all doing nonsense. Okay, Chelsea Clinton is not from, she's not exempt from it either. She got $85 million. That money was supposed to go to Haiti. $85 million. That money was supposed to go to Haiti, but it did not. Okay. Now this is the so-called, this is a Democrat, okay? This is a Democrat, okay? And this is the news that she had put out on social media. And this is the shit that they supposed to take down. But they don't take down this shit like this. This is a propaganda. They don't take down shit like this. They leave it up, okay? They leave it up. Okay, you don't even hear her say allegedly, and I gotta say allegedly because the stuff I just said a few minutes ago. But you don't even hear her say allegedly. She just, you know, this is propaganda. She's scaring the shit out of people. Check this out. Somebody said the name is Desmond Deshawn. He said, "Let her cook." Let her cook what? Let's continue. Let's hear what she got to say.
Got on live TV last night and told his people that everybody in Europe, all the countries, all of their armies are meeting up to have a fucking conversation about preparing to possibly go to war with Russia to help Ukraine. On top of that, he said that we have to be prepared just in case the United States don't have our fucking backs. Now, France and Europe and United States have been in a peace treaty, have been allies since the fucking 1700s. The fact that they cannot count on the United States to have their back in case Russia crosses the line, invades Ukraine, and tries to keep going into the fucking EU. They are afraid that we are going to be allies with Russia. Oh my God, that sounds so fucking bad coming out my mouth. What the fuck is going on, y'all? We may be going to war on the side of Russia, formerly the USSR. What the fuck? And everybody hates us. Canada hates us, Mexico. So the French...
Do you believe that? Do you believe that? Put a 1 in the chat if you believe what she said. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't believe that. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe what she said. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't believe it. You telling me that America would turn around, which America is the rod and staff, and I don't care what none of y'all say, but this is the gospel truth. America is the rod and staff to Britain, to the UK. And they would go and turn on the UK. And they would turn on France. That's a lie from the pit of hell. That's a lie from the pit of hell. They would not turn on France and the UK. They would not. They would not. I don't care what y'all hearing or what you know what I'm saying? Trump done signed us out of NATO. Let me share something with you. Trump is having a tantrum is only for 4 years. And whoever gets in there next, it'll be them that will pay the back dues to NATO. He's only having a tantrum because he's tired of us paying the most when it comes to NATO. And it's not fair because we're the biggest. We got the biggest army. And so we supposed to pay the most to NATO. That's not right. That's not right. That's the problem Trump is having, that it's not fair. So right now it's a tantrum. Would you sit here and really believe if Russia moves against the UK that Trump is not going to come full force? Use a damn lie and a fool. Use a damn lie and a fool. Ain't no way. We have never let anything happen to the UK before. Ain't no damn, that's a damn lie from the pit of hell. Trump will wreck shop if he had to on Russia. And Russia, I ain't saying Russia is a punk. Russia gonna wreck shop too. But there will be a battle of kings. That's it. That's it. Y'all better get out of here and stop scaring people. Get the hell out of here with that bullshit. You're gonna tell me we gonna turn on all these other nations to side with Russia? That sounds stupid. That sounds stupid. The truth is, he just trying to calm this shit down. He doesn't want to see World War III. If he did, he would keep giving money to Ukraine and giving Ukraine powerful weapons, not these little pinch penny shit that Biden and them gave him. In the last term, Trump gave him some stuff too. But I'm saying to y'all is that if he really wanted some shit to happen to Russia, Trump would give Ukraine some powerful shit that will rock Russia core. But no, y'all saying he gonna side with Russia. Now him trying to make peace, he's siding with Russia. Some of y'all get on my nerve. Y'all just got shut up. Just shut up sometimes. Shut up. If you don't know what you're saying, just shut up. Some of y'all scaring the shit out of people. Oh, we gonna side with Russia. Where? Two kings can't reside in a household. Anybody ever heard that? Anybody ever heard that? Two kings cannot reside in one household. Two queens cannot reside in one household. Anybody ever heard that? Who gonna be the bottom? Okay? Who gonna be the bottom? What the fuck? Who gonna be the bottom? You telling me two kings gonna gather together and it's gonna work out? No, it's not. Because once you say something to one of the kings and they don't like it, all hell gonna break loose. Who gonna be the bottom bitch? Listen, I just want us to understand something. Who's going to be the bottom bitch? I know it ain't us. I know it ain't us. We too arrogant. I know it ain't us. Now, this is a little horror right here that I'm going to play for y'all. This is a little horror, okay? This about Mexico, okay? Y'all got to stop skipping y'all ass across the border. Do you hear me? Y'all got to stop skipping y'all ass across the border, okay? Going somewhere you don't know where you're supposed to be. If you at a resort, stay your punk ass at the resort. Don't go and disappear and go other places. I feel so bad for the families. This is a little horror right here, okay? Oh my God, this is a teaching moment. Let me say a teaching moment because I don't want YouTube to drop the stream. This is a teaching moment. Here we go.
The bodies of 9 missing students were just found in Mexico and their hands were placed in a bag. I mean, this is horrible. The group was traveling to a city in Mexico known for their beaches when their family members just stopped hearing from them and reported them missing on February 27th. They went there to celebrate their graduation, and on Sunday, their remains were found inside of a car left on the side of a highway. 4 of them were found in the trunk in absolutely horrifying positions in order to make them fit, and the other 5 were found under a tarp. The first thing authorities noticed was that none of them had their hands until they noticed a bag nearby with 8 pairs of hands inside, and 2 more hands were left in the trunk. In total, they found 4 women and 5 men ages 19 to 30. All of them had GSWs, and there were signs that unspeakable things were done to them prior. So far, no suspects have been named, and authorities said they cannot offer information. There are lines of investigation, but
And this is Mexico, so they're not even going to attempt to find out who did this to these kids. From 18 to 30 years old, so there was someone grown there with them. 18 to 30. Even though 18 is grown, but we still consider child, right? So, y'all went to Mexico going to enjoy a graduation, and then someone took them out. Y'all got to stop going to foreign countries and you leave the resort. If the resort is there, stay in the resort. Don't go to different towns and doing bullshit. Okay? Because what happens is when they find you, nobody in the town tells the truth. Nobody in the town going to say it was so-and-so. They're going to keep their mouth shut just like the ghetto. Going to keep their mouth shut. They're not going to tell who did what. Y'all gotta stop going to these foreign countries. Y'all do the most. You got to stop going to these foreign countries and you ain't got no safety. Okay? No safety at all. Okay? Now, I told y'all about the credit cards already, right? I told y'all that the judge blocked Trump attempt to terminate the government credit cards, right? Okay? So this is what Trump did. Trump said, okay, I can't terminate the credit cards, the government credit cards that y'all got, and y'all spending and buying shit that don't make sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to only put $1 on it. So what it did, made the cards worthless. And I already told y'all that. Okay? Now, it's another horror story. Okay? This is another horror story. When we think about how all these children got missing, y'all remember under Obama, all these kids got missing, right? Okay. They still here in America. They in the system. Okay. But why is it that under this party, all these kids got missing? They can't find these children. Okay. And you got some of these people who are in power that is, they doing horror. Some of these people who are in power, they doing horror. Now, I ain't saying with just Democrats and not Republicans. Republicans is doing it too. It's sad. But because it's so much power, nobody can check people on it. But now, you know what? Shout out to Pat Bondi. Shout out to Pat Bondi. Baby girl is doing the damn job, honey. She getting all y'all motherfuckers. Let her do her job. Let her cook. Here's something about the mayor. Okay, of Maryland, I believe it is. Here we go. Not the mayor, the governor. Is it the governor? The governor. Here we go.
Mayor in Maryland.
I'm sorry. I was right the first time. It's the mayor. Here we go. Nonsense.
Arrested on 56 child pornography related charges. The mayor of College Park, Maryland, Patrick Wojahn, was arrested Thursday on 56 child pornography possession and distribution charges. He's a gay activist, 47-year-old gay activist, Democrat, faces 40 counts of possession. It's hard to even read this, I'll be honest. It's so disgusting. It's vomit-inducing, but it's real. So if you don't have the stomach for this, then I apologize.
Oh my God.
Possession of exploitive child material and 16 counts of distribution of exploitive child material, a press release from the Prince George County Police Department said. Now, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children were first alerted that the department had a social media account operating within the county, was distributing, quote, suspected child pornography on February 17th, according to PGPD. And law enforcement deserves credit for working quickly and arresting a rather high-profile Democrat, someone that...
50 counts of child pornography. 50 counts. Maryland mayor. 50 counts. $50 counts, but Trump is the problem. 50 counts, but Trump is the problem, right? Yep. 50 counts, but Trump is the problem. He's the problem. 50 counts, but Trump is the problem. Trump is the problem. And Green Beans just said this is what was next among the Democrats to make legal. Oh my God. Oh my God. Eric said this. Eric, I can't put out what you said, but what you saying, he said these people sick. These people are sick. Child pornography. What do you actually see in a baby? Oh my God. This is how you know something is wrong up here. What do you actually see in a baby? What do you see in a baby? I remember something my father had said to my mom, because my mom was trying to, y'all mothers always do this nonsense to get the fathers in trouble. That, oh, did you touch my child? Did you touch, promoting conscious parenting, promoting conscious parenting with the Harrises. Y'all know, please forgive me, family. I always say your name wrong of the other channel. Please forgive me. All right, I appreciate you. Promoting conscious parenting with the Harrises. Thank you for donating one gift membership to Lady Navoa. I appreciate you, honey. Thank you so much. I'll get your music in here in a few minutes. I'm surprised to see you because I know I wasn't supposed to see y'all for like 3 weeks. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you for stopping in. Thank you so much. So the uncomfortable truth is, I remember my mama saying this to my father because she was trying to accuse him of touching me or something like that. And my father said to her just like this: with all this pussy that women be selling out here for $2, okay, I got to go touch my daughter. I told my mama, my daddy never touched me. My daddy never touched me. You will never get me to get up here and say my father touched me in any way. Never touched me, not one time. My daddy said, with all these women out here that sell pussy for $2, I got to go touch my daughter. Now, this is back in the day, okay? All these women out here that would sell pussy for $2, I got to go touch my daughter. I told my mama, my father never touched me. Never, not one time. You couldn't get me to say no craziness like these kids today, because you want to make mama happy. I disappointed my mama every chance she gave me. Every chance she gave me when she made up some lie, I disappointed her. That didn't happen. That did not happen. That did not happen. I would tell her. She'd be in front of her sisters. I tell her that she's lying. She's lying. My mother said, "I'm gonna whoop your ass. Go sit down." I said, "She lying. Don't get in here and she lying to you. That's not true." And my auntie used to tell her, "That one right there is your problem. That one right there, that's your problem. She's your truth teller. Don't you get in here and tell her no nonsense, because she'll tell it." Okay? Yes, I will. I'll tell it. You was not going to just blame my father like that. Okay? You're not going to do that. Oh, Through the Fire podcast. How are you? Long time no see, sir. 6-month membership of Take Heed. 16 months membership of Take Heed. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you for donating to the channel. Thank you so much. This is the uncomfortable truth. This is the uncomfortable truth. They were willing and ready to have these people sit in office. Child pornography. Oh my God. The Harrises promoting conscious parenting. Y'all, please make sure you tune into this family dynamic duel. Okay? Family dynamic duel. Make sure you tune into this family. You hear me? Mr. He Said and Mrs. She Said. Content is always fire, honey, and educational as well. And here we go, baby. Here we go. Here we go. What happened?
You gotta check that pH balance,
Gotta check that pH balance, baby.
You gotta check that pH balance, baby.
Oh, shit.
You gotta check that pH balance.
Go ahead, Steven. Go ahead, Steven.
You gotta check that pH balance, baby.
Clean that pussy. Yeah, that's what the song is. Clean that pussy. That's what the song means. Oh my God.
Something is off.
Something ain't right. You right, Green.
Something is in the air tonight. Something smells fishy.
All right, now, wait a minute.
And we ain't eating fish.
Oh, shit.
Thinking to myself,
What'd he say? I was thinking to myself.
what the hell is this?
What the hell is this? Oh, shit.
Sex is
He
good.
said that sex is good, baby.
Please do better.
But it stink, honey.
You need to get that pH balance together, baby.
Oh, shit. Wait a minute. He said that pussy good, but it stink, baby. Oh, shit. Wait a minute. Oh, shit. Shout out to RBN Through the Fire podcast. Okay, y'all, please make sure y'all, when you get time, rock out on this brother channel. Content is always fire, educational, and the channel holds you accountable. Okay, y'all, please make sure you rock out with Through the Fire podcast, baby. And here's my breakdown for you, my brother. Here we go, y'all.
You gotta check that pH balance, baby.
Say it. Gotta check that pH balance, baby.
Gotta check
All
that
right now.
pH balance, baby.
Say it. You gotta watch that pussy.
pH balance, baby.
Watch that pussy.
You gotta check that pH balance, baby.
Steven said that's my shit. Renee said my jam. All right, Steven said something ain't right.
Something is off.
All right now.
Something ain't right.
Steven, you always clowning with me.
Something is in the air tonight. Something smells fishy.
He said something smell fishy.
And we ain't eating fish.
Oh shit, wait a minute.
Thinking to
He
myself,
said, what the hell is this?
what the hell is this? Sex is
He
good.
said that pussy good, baby.
Please do better.
But you gotta do better.
You need to get that pH balance together,
Get that
baby.
pH balance together. Love, stop laughing at me. Oh, Nika. Oh, shit. There we go, baby. There we Thank you so much for tuning in and rocking out with me. I greatly appreciate it. I enjoyed my time with y'all, okay? And I enjoyed cooking this morning with y'all, baby, okay? We tired of the old Negro spiritual. We're tired. We gave you the House, the Senate, and we gave you the presidency. We gave you the House and Senate and the presidency, okay? And so you didn't do your job, bitch. You ain't do your job. So now the wolf is in the White House. Let's see what happened. He's pushing his limits of presidency to the envelope. He's pushing it all the way there. I never want to hear another president say that they can't do something. I don't want to hear she from y'all motherfuckers. Not one president. I don't want to hear after Trump. I don't want to hear it's not in your power to do it. I don't want to hear none of that shit. When Congress start acting a fool, I don't want to hear none of that shit because Congress is only there to pass the money for the purse. Anything else, the president can do the shit. I don't want to hear nothing. If the border open and y'all get in here and say Congress got the pass, I'm going to get in here and tell y'all kiss my ass. Because Trump shut that border down the first day he got in that bitch. Shut that shit down. Emergency shutdown. He shut that shit the fuck down. The woman was up there crying with her children. Y'all had showed us a video. Did you think I gave a fuck? I didn't give a fuck. That wasn't me. It wasn't me. I don't care. It wasn't me. Y'all was filming and everything like Americans are supposed to feel sad. When y'all got all these people in here living in luxury hotels and they had EBT cars falling from heaven. You think I felt bad? I did not. I did not feel bad at all. Okay? Because we have American people here that was homeless and they didn't have food. They didn't have a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. You think I felt bad? I did not. I didn't feel bad. I watched and then I scrolled the fuck up like I didn't see shit. And I went on drinking my coffee like nothing else happened. Now, when you get in here and show me an American that's homeless and they ain't got a pot to piss in a window to throw it out of, that's the same thing. When they get in here and see that shit, then yeah, I'ma watch. Because I want to see what kind of program y'all going to help this woman get in. Or a man with his children. But no, we out here giving EPT cards from heaven and shit. Thank you to everybody who came to my channel today. I got to switch my voice. I appreciate y'all for coming. Everybody who donated to the channel, thank you. Okay, everybody who became a member and bought extra memberships and also gave gift memberships, I thank you. Okay, thank you to the cash apps that I received. Ricky, thank you, baby. I appreciate you. Okay, everybody who took time to donate to my channel, everybody who hit the like and subscribe button. Don't say Lordy Green Beans. Everybody who hit the like and subscribe button, I appreciate you. If you want to donate through Cash App and Venmo, the links are in my bio if you want to donate directly to me. I greatly appreciate it, okay? If you want to shop with us, our family business is called ubmraxfashion.com. If you want to shop from Mercari, POSHMARK, and eBay, those links are available too, okay? And if you want to shop merch, scroll to the top of the page, okay? Scroll to the top of the page in my YouTube and you will see Shop or Store. They got hoodies, shirts, mugs, water bottles, and baby clothes, all that good stuff, okay? And if you're interested, go in there and buy, okay? Shout out to AI for the culture, baby. I got to play my song. Shout out to AI for the culture. My brother, I hope one day that I meet you or either, okay, or either you send me a song just about take heed to the message, honey. I wish you could make up something like that, take heed to the message, and share it with me, honey, okay? Either or, but shout out to AI for the culture. Here we go, baby, here we go.
Feel like stuck in a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like stuck in a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like stuck in a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I said what I said.
These motherfuckers on the road, the hell they learn to drive.
When you learn to drive?
Jive turkeys at my job, about to get a cool, cold, mean vibe. off as if I hadn't had enough. Chipotle